Hey guys, just before you watch this episode, I wanted to apologize. I've been off the grid for a little while. I am back now. I'm hoping to get things a little bit more regular again. I had a bit going on in my life that I needed to take care of, but I'm excited to be back. I do apologize if during the conversation there is some things discussed that seem like they were from some time ago, but I thought I definitely want to get this episode out. I also have another one that I recorded with Andrew Wood to get out and a few lined up to record. I hope you guys enjoy. But yeah, thanks for coming on, man. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
You're always out and about. You're always traveling.
We've bumped into each other a couple of times.
Yeah. At the Marinite Sports Day.
Yeah. Exchanged, ideas and where we want to end up.
Yeah. Well, your journey's been pretty interesting. Firstly, I'll say when I met you, you were a lot broader than I expected. You and your brother, you guys are solid.
We have to make up for the lack of height. You know what I mean? So that's why we're in the gym. Look, our old man runs the gym, so we've been in the gym for, since we were like teenagers. We played a bit of footy, so try and stay fit.
Yeah. I watch your videos when you grab the 60-kilo dumbbells. I'm like, no way these guys are going to pump them out. And then you just start pumping out reps. Like you guys.
It's a bit controversial because Nick does half reps. Some of the comments agreed with me. Some say they were clean reps. I don't know. I think I got him. So
yeah. No, that's fair. No, but you guys are good. It's important, especially in your line of work, to stay disciplined with all like your health and other things as well. So
yeah, I think it's a bit of a luxury because we do have some time, especially when we're back home. So when we're home and not traveling, I like to get in a routine.
Yeah.
Make up for the shit food in America.
Yeah.
And get back to basics at home for a bit. So we're always in the gym.
Yeah. Are you distracted by that screen, by the way?
No. Just funny. I make sure I'm looking all right.
I'm going to switch it. You look fine.
Okay, all right.
I'll
look at your face. Yeah.
You're still addressing the camera directly. That's all right. No, that's good. So your journey's been pretty interesting because you shot up to fame in the wonderful COVID era. You are arguably the biggest slap in the face to any government in the world because during COVID, you absolutely trolled the crap out of our government. And I remember seeing your videos. I'm like, I can't understand how this guy's doing it. Your predictions, and you would do all these formulas and whatever and spit out this number.
Yeah.
And then Gladys would announce the same thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So tell me about that period of time. What sort of inspired you to start?
I mean, I was making videos online for in the lead up to that. And, I had around maybe 70,000 on TikTok at the time and like 10 or 15,000 on Instagram, just making like skits and comedic skits. And then, I don't know, we put this formula together, my brothers and I. And then we probably didn't expect it to take off like it did. And even to this day, still people will come up, that's a TikTok guy, that's the COVID guy. Yeah. But it was just kind of, now it was probably a catalyst for us being people of notoriety, or like, it got us stopped on the street, got us noticed, and then from there, we've made content, whether it's still critical of government, sometimes it's comedic, it's sports orientated. So I don't know, it was fun. COVID was a shit time. It's like everyone's kind of just forgotten about it and we just move on, of how bad it actually was.
Do you think it's a problem that people have moved on so easy?
I think so. I think everyone just got short memories and doesn't remember how what's tyrannical it kind of was. Like it's almost comical that everyone just kind of moves on. And Dan Andrews just taking photos in China right now, like no one cares. So I don't know, but you got to get on with life. So let's play on.
Did you start trolling? Was the intent, hey, this could be something that could get us quite viral, or is it, hey, we're actually quite pissed off? What's going on?
I think it was just like it was out of boredom, and then it was also out of this actually just went nuts. The first one we put up went crazy numbers. I want to keep doing it. It was getting some attention. Then you're getting reached out by Sky News and Channel 10, and you're going online and trolling even further.
Yeah,
and that was just fun in itself. It's like being on the news. Being serious, but like still staying comical. I don't know. That was the element that I enjoyed about it. And then even now, like that style of content where you're being critical of how stupid things are. Like we just did a tax video the other week.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah.
And it was like, it's funny, but it's actually true how stupid it's getting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
you've got to highlight the absurdity, yeah.
People, I think, relate to it because that's the state of where everything is at the moment. It's like, are we just dumb for letting this happen? But also, it's almost comical how stupid it is. So, yeah.
And look, you say you came up with a formula. I'm guessing you're not going to tell me while these things are recording how you actually did it. But it wasn't some formula, right?
I mean, I tell people all the time. It was just like my brother Nick is very intelligent. He's 96 ATAR, 97 ATAR. So we came up with the theorem. No, but yeah, it was. I don't think I've ever said this, but one time I was doing radio. I used to do like a 5-minute spot on radio doing the sports updates, and I met Dom Perrottet there, and we follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah.
Not to say that he was a source.
Yeah.
But he pulled me aside and we had a like nice chat. And I think he's over in America at the moment because he just messaged me the other day saying, when you're back in America, let's catch up. But he said, I remember during COVID and during these cabinet meetings,
they're losing it over how you knew.
Who is this bloke? Why? How does he know? And it's just funny to think like there's kids in Belmore out of their room and making these government officials lose their mind at the time. And he confirmed it. He reckons Gladys was pulling her hair out at the time. Like, who's this little wog, you know? It was funny.
It was good. It was good. Maybe one day we'll find out how it was actually. I'm sure your brother's quite switched on. I've met your brother. He's very switched on. But yeah, so I couldn't believe it at the time. Like, man, is there someone on the inside? If it was, obviously you're never going to say, but it was just hilarious because they would have lost their mind over, again, some guy with his phone making a video in his room. I think it's funny,
even like to this day, even like if there's a news article, right, they'll always preface it by saying Jon-Bernard, who was infamous for the COVID predicting. They'll always say predicting. It wasn't say for saying. They'll say for predicting the COVID numbers. So I'll maintain it's predictions.
It's a prediction. Yeah. It's a good theorem. Yeah. What is it? The Kairouz theorem?
Kairouz probability theorem
beautiful.
From memory, yeah.
And so you make all this content. You highlight the absurdity. You had that one video that went bonkers, the haircut one, about asking for pronouns and can I touch you? And
shout out to Joey Fidel was also prominent part of that.
Yeah. Phenomenal video. Phenomenal video. Would you say that at what point did you realize things were getting absurd? Was it COVID where you're like, okay, things are really out of control here?
Yeah. I mean, things since COVID, everything seems just like it's just fake and nothing is serious anymore, whether it's like elections and stuff like that. I don't know. I just think, where I've found enjoyment now is I don't really care for numbers and stuff like that. I just enjoy making funny videos. I don't really take myself too seriously either. So, yeah, you can always kind of find news stories that are out there and point out how absurd things are getting. But I don't want to be like it's all doom and we're all in despair all the time. Yeah, I'd like to, just try and be funny.
Shine a light, show how absurd it is, but still enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and not everything is always serious. Sometimes it's just a bit about brothers bashing each other when they were kids watching wrestling. Sometimes, it just depends what lane I want to jump in, whether it's like I like watching UFC, like WWE, NRL. There's always something happening in the NRL. So it's just out of what we enjoy doing.
And that's one thing I appreciate about your content is you've stayed true to what you actually like. So one of the things, like take a Joe Rogan, right? He'll talk about mushrooms and, fighting, combat sports. He'll never touch NBA because he just doesn't like NBA. He talks about aliens and, space and...
He used to be way more into it. He used to get into flat Earth and stuff like that.
But he just talks about whatever the heck he wants, right?
What he's
and you're the same. Like 1 minute you guys are you guys debuted in pro wrestling, right?
We did a bit of a matchup.
That was hilarious. That was fun. Awesome.
That was a little childhood thing. Hopefully it can escalate and we actually go to a WWE or something like that.
That would be awesome.
That'd be fun. But I think it's in the works down the line. But that was fun. Yeah, just like you do this. Like I think you said, it's not like this is your show. It's not like a Catholic oriented show. You're Catholic, but you talk about what you enjoy.
Whatever I want.
Whatever you want.
Which may be primarily Catholic, but that's why I named it this, right? Is I don't want to be limited by what I talk about. And you've stayed true to that rather than just chasing, okay, how do I get bigger, more money.
I think you got to be goal orientated to an extent. And, I've probably gotten smarter about it where I don't make content for the sake of making it. Like, this is just going to make some noise and this will just be disruptive for the sake of it. Like, now, I think when you have more responsibilities, say you get a mortgage, you realize that, hey, you got to really tread carefully. You can't get cancelled for the sake of getting cancelled again, or get put through the ringer on, go to court again for some stupid reason, or get kicked out of the Coogee Pav or Rose Hill Racecourse and have this reputation of being
a troublemaker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I enjoy disrupting a little bit, but, also you probably, like you want to make a living. So,
yeah. Well, I guess the difference is you do this full time, right? Your content creation, your channel, you got sponsors, you work with KO Sports.
Yeah.
We'll talk a bit about that in a bit, but I guess with me, my income isn't, while I have some sponsors that just help alleviate costs, I have my own job, my own business.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that worries me about actually making money out of the things that I do is
you're beholden to someone or 100%.
Has that happened? Have you ever you ever lost sponsorship or been suffered financially because of something you've done?
I think there's like certain brands that probably will hold you in a light that be careful all the time with these guys.
Yeah.
But, look at Spanian as an example. Says whatever he wants, does whatever he wants. He's still going to have brands that want to work with him. And that's the same with us. Like, there's people that enjoy our humor and there's some people that don't. And a lot of the times the people that don't can be making the decisions with whether it's certain footy codes or clubs.
Yeah.
That personally I've wanted to work with that don't want to work with us, which is fair enough. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I've felt it to a full extent. But yeah, I think I'm just more mindful now. I don't need to go crazy or like go just get cancelled for the sake of getting cancelled. I think I can find a good balance of being critical of something, but also having a laugh with it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. It's a factor, but I think there's consequences with anything you do in life, really. No?
How long have you been full-time doing what you do?
Probably like 2 years now, properly. But yeah, I was working in content for about a year and a half straight before going into full-time as well. So I was in marketing, and then I was in a content team, and then I just went out on me and Nick. Yeah.
Yeah. So Nick's been full-time for 2 years as well?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We do it together.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And one of your biggest sponsorships is with KO, right? Or
I wouldn't even say sponsor. Yeah, we just work with them.
Yeah,
so
with
like
them,
we're not like we're not an employee. We just work alongside them. We essentially fill the media spot at these UFC events,
which is insane. I mean, I love the UFC as well.
Yeah,
the people you've been able to interview and speak with, it's just insane.
Yeah, very blessed, very lucky. Like, if you thought from the start when it was like, the COVID guys and these guys, now we get to go and act as like media members almost. But we do have that content creator spin. We're not like journalists.
Yeah.
But we do know how, I don't know, to make the most of the time with the athletes that we interview, and like people like Ilya Taporia, John Jones, even just wrestlers, Nick Kyrgios, tennis stars, other big content creators like NBA stars, Nick going back and forth with Steph Curry. Like, I don't know, it's just like a crazy.
Yeah, that was the one with Steph Curry.
Yeah. People that you've watched, from your childhood, and then you get to speak with them. I still get nervous sometimes talking to a few people.
Wasn't Nick that said to Steph Curry, you only have
I think it was a bit lost in translation. I think he was trying to compliment him, and Steph kind of it was like an Aussie-American lost in translation. Nick was trying to compliment him. He was like, what do you mean only? But it was Nick. Nick asked the question. But yeah, even like Kyrie Irving backstage. So it was like, it's been crazy to where it's ended up. But, I think we have this goal of we want to be like the Pat McAfee, your Pat McAfee of sports. He's on ESPN right now. He started as like an ex-NFL player, doing his own podcast, doing his own interviews and stuff, then got brought into ESPN. And I feel like we're kind of on that trajectory where we started on it by ourselves, doing stuff like this, inviting people on the podcast, going out of our way, interviewing people. And now we've got enough views and traction online. Our platform's grown a lot to where we can kind of say, hey, ESPN, KO, let's work together and bring awareness to pay-per-views and whatever. Let's sell these fights. Boxing as well. We're massive boxing fans. Got to interview Manny Pacquiao, which was crazy. Got to travel alongside Tim Tszyu when he goes to Vegas and has these big shows. So, yeah, been lucky, man, and enjoying it so far. I just want to continue to grow it.
Yeah, we've got that Marinite Down Under charity boxing night.
Yeah.
Which I know there's a small chance you guys might be involved to some capacity.
Look,
but
I don't know if we'll box. I think
involved in another way.
I want to get involved.
Yeah. We'll speak.
When are we doing that?
It's 10th of October.
Yeah.
I spoke with Paul today to follow up with you guys, but
try and line it up.
We'll
for
work
here,
it
definitely.
out. But so you've met a lot of UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the scariest of all of them?
Oh man, I'd say it'd have to be the heavyweights because they're just so much bigger.
Yeah.
Like, John Jones, big man. Volkov, big guys. Cyril Gane, the heavyweights are scary.
Yeah.
The smaller guys, the featherweights, the lightweights, because they're kind of around your size, it's not too intimidating.
Yeah.
Alex Pereira, you would say is intimidating, but because he's kind of like a lovable kind of likes to take a joke kind of character. But that's what I would say. Like Tom Aspinall, genuinely. Like as good as a bloke as he is, very intimidating guy because he's a freak. He's a guy that can stand up and trade with you. Exactly,
moves like a lightweight and
exactly
hits like a
right.
heavyweight. It's crazy.
So I would say, you're saying the scariest one to interview, or like who is the scariest? I don't know. I would say John Jones because he was like when we had interviewed him, he didn't want to talk to the UK media. He said, "No, fuck, I'm not doing this."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there was that rivalry with Tom Aspinall and he knew it was going to be Tom kind of questions. He stormed off. There was a video. He kind of stormed off of the interview room and we were supposed to interview him next. And I only had like 5 minutes with him.
So he's pissed off already.
So I know he already had the shits and they brought him back in and I had to say, okay, I might sound a little English, but I just want to let you know I'm Australian.
Yeah.
And I like you. I'm a fan of yours. So these are going to be softball. These are going to be fun questions. So, and we had a good interview. He told me he enjoyed it after. So, it was intimidating at the start. You don't want to piss him off.
Yeah, pissed off John Jones is pretty terrifying.
Exactly right. So, that was probably the one I was most nervous for. And it was the biggest, I think, to date. Yeah, around UFC stars.
Yeah, and you've attended a lot of these UFC events and...
Mostly all of them that I've covered, yeah. Madison Square Garden, one's in Vegas.
Far out. That's goals, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
And have you ever trained in combat sports?
I've done
martial
boxing.
Arts?
I've actually been... bit roughed up sparring a little bit. I trained with Huss Hamden, who's an Australian boxer. He's put me through some classes. Khalil boxing in Killer boxing in Marrickville. We've done a few. Me and Nick have done a few classes there. Yeah, I like to get into the boxing side, but we're more so just like strength orientated.
Yeah. So you haven't grappled much and wrestled much?
No, I haven't done wrestling. No. Apart from playing footy, like that was only wrestling training.
How's Khamzat in person?
Oh, you know what? I take it back. Khamzat's very scary. Khamzat's probably the scariest. You don't get much time with him. He's a man of few words.
Yeah.
And he's got a massive team with him when he does interviews. So you don't want to piss the team off because he's got a group of 10 blokes following him around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's a nice guy. He just wants to do his media duties and go. But you don't want to piss him off.
Yeah.
Because he can just have a knack of I'm not gonna answer his question, storm off.
Yeah.
And some of the time because he's very short for words, he'll just do a scrum. So when you do get time with him, you get in 3-5 minutes and you want to make it count. So I take it back. Khamzat's the scariest to interview.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's not a small guy.
I'm surprised he because before that he was cutting at welterweight, was it?
Yeah.
Now he's a middleweight. So I'm surprised he was making welterweight because now he's the middleweight champ.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if anyone can.
And he's a lot bigger next to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of these guys, I'm holding the mic up here, you know? He's a big guy.
Tall as well.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if anyone will
beat him
anytime soon, but
I don't think so. Not at middleweight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Who is there?
Look, the fight with Usman was interesting because you wonder how things may have gone.
If it went 5 rounds.
The first round, it was like, man, he's going to kill him. And Usman just pushes through and...
Because Usman's got, very underrated wrestling.
Yeah.
And that actually shows you how he did DDP, shows you how good Usman is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he ever wants to run that back. I think Usman wants to have another crack at, a welterweight title. But yeah, it shows you how good he was that he went 3 rounds to a decision with Khamzat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the heavyweight division, I'm like a bit concerned about it,
It's lacking talent.
It's lacking talent.
Yeah. Well, there's really no one there right now. I mean, I think Tom Aspinall's going to clear it out. probably be touted as one of the best heavyweights of all time, then you either bring back John Jones, because that's a fight that everyone wants to see, has the build up behind it, the ducking narrative. Like who is there? You either get light heavyweights to come up, like Tai Tuivasa hasn't fought in like a year and a half. He says he wants to come back next year. He's probably not top caliber. You got Cyril Gane, that's his next opponent. So yeah, I think they either try and bring back a Francis Ngannou or you just build it up to the John Jones fight.
Yeah, I don't know if Ngannou's coming back.
Dana doesn't like him.
Yeah.
No, not how he did him. So
it's a shame because one of the funnest divisions to watch. I mean, these guys are absolute.
Well, I actually just read like a
powerhouses.
stat. It was like the last time a heavyweight fight got fight of the night was Tai Tuivasa versus Cyril Gane in Paris, which was a long time ago. So again, they need some entertainment in that division.
Yeah. Look, I guess the lightweight division, being that the majority of the population fits into that, it's always going to be, like, around those divisions, always going to be the
most entertaining
big divisions.
Yeah.
Ilya Topuria, what's he like? This guy's come. I'm not going to say he came out of nowhere. He's obviously worked his ass to get there, but it feels like relative to everyone else, he came out of nowhere and now he's being touted as potentially one of the best ever.
He's probably my favorite UFC fighter to follow at the moment, and we've like been so lucky. His brother fought in Sydney. We got to see him in Sydney. He accompanied his brother. We interviewed his brother there. But we've got to watch him beat Volk and interview him before he fought Volk. Then we got to interview him and ask him questions at the press conference when everyone was doubting him, and he beat Max Holloway. You know what I mean? And then you just saw what he did to Charles Oliveira.
That three fight sequence.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can think of many sequences as good, like 3 fight sequences as good as
Some
that.
people would make arguments and say that, you know, Charles isn't the Charles of old, and Volk, the Volk that he fought isn't the Volk. It's the Volk that got knocked out by Islam. But you can't deny he was the first to knock down Max Holloway. And you're right, it's been a massive 3-fight win streak.
Well, even if they're not the same as old, he didn't simply just edge them out in a decision. He clearly dominated, knocked them out, and he's a grappler.
Yeah,
that's the craziest part. Is like he hasn't even shown, at least recently, what he can do on the ground. Yeah. But that's where most of his wins were earlier in his career.
And Nugget, you'll see everyone makes a big fuss about it online, but he's so confident. Like in the last fight, he was celebrating the night before, and before the win, saying the victory is already mine. And when he faces Max, he tells everyone, "I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to be the first one to knock him out." He kind of, it's not manifesting, but he just says, like, you know,
he believes it.
He believes that he is the best, and it's clear to watch. He is the best striker in the UFC right now, and I don't know. He's just very entertaining. And off camera, his team, you know, whether it's Jose, you know, his manager, him and his brother himself, his training partners, they're so nice to everyone that interviews them, gives them time, that he gives us time. He's very friendly to me and Nick, and he's big on his faith. Like, he'll see Nick walking around wearing a cross, and the boys will ask him about it. They'll see me wearing a Saint Charbel shirt. Yeah. They're like, you know who that is. They're aware. Their managers, I think, are kind of Jordanian Christian guys as well. They're just very friendly with their time, and they're big on their faith. And, you know, you can see when he walks into the octagon, he's doing the sign of the cross 3 times.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They're very big on it. So it's good to see.
And while he's that cocky, it's weird because his trash talk has so much decorum to it. You know, like he's not an asshole trash talker.
Yeah.
And after he wins, there's so much grace. He shows so much respect to his opponents after he puts them down like dogs. It's crazy.
I think he knows the game. He knows that people call him like a Conor McGregor wannabe because he's got the tattoos and that. But I don't know. I disagree with that because he knows how to. I think
he's very different.
He knows how to sell his fights. He knows how to talk shit to like a Paddy Pimblett or talk shit to a Volkanovski before the fight. But after the fight, it's all sportsmanship. It's all thank you for being my opponent. He even said he apologized to Charles Oliveira before the fight. He said, sorry, it has to be
cold,
you.
Man.
Because I like you. Everyone loves Charles Oliveira. No one wanted to see him get knocked out. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I don't know. He's graceful. And I think
that was a cold moment. Like you're about to fight someone. He looks you in the eye and says, I'm sorry, it has to be you.
Yeah.
That was cold. That's confidence.
It's I don't know. It's enjoyable to watch. And someone that can have that confidence, he just says, you know, I've put in the work. I've put in the training for it. I know what the result's going to be. And it's crazy to see we're seeing like another McGregor-like superstar because in Europe, he is that big. In Spain, he's in front of crowds of 50,000 people chanting for him, going nuts. And I don't know, they love him. His entrance is crazy. He's a superstar.
His entrance is iconic.
Yeah.
Ilya versus Islam. Firstly, do you think it'll happen?
Yeah.
They have to do it. That would be.
I think the UFC,
You'd have to be a charity to not do that and
they
care about
wanted
the
to
money.
do it.
Yeah.
If JDM didn't beat Bilal, it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because Bilal and Islam would never have faced each other.
Yeah.
Islam would have stuck around and it would have just been that for the lightweight title. But, you know, I'm almost got the shits that we didn't get to see it happen sooner. But if both of them win their next fights, Ilya's on a trajectory where he probably beats Gaethje. Arman's probably his biggest test. And then it's if Islam beats JDM for the lightweight title, even if he loses, he probably comes back down and faces Ilya. So I think it's going to happen. It's just whether it stays big enough because you want
don't wanna
Islam.
lose momentum.
You want Islam to remain undefeated and pound for pound number one.
Yeah.
So it's a fight for who's going to be the pound for pound number one. But the UFC is stupid if they don't want to put it on because it's probably the biggest fight apart from John Jones and Aspinall and how big that fight was going to be. This is probably going to be the biggest pay-per-view fight in the next couple of years.
Yeah. Potentially of all time because the UFC's grown so much.
Yeah.
You know? Who do you think wins that fight?
Me personally, I want to see Ilya win.
Yeah.
I'm an Ilya fanboy at the moment.
Yeah, me too.
But
Me too.
it's hard to say because Islam is one of the best lightweights of all time, and his striking's very underrated. But he's the best grappler the UFC has at the moment. You know, almost all finishers apart from that Volk fight went to a decision with Dustin Poirier. Submitted Dustin Poirier in the 5th round. But I don't know. I just think Ilya's got this, you know, storyline narrative behind him that he's going to be the one to conquer the Dagestani problem in the UFC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've seen some good edits about the prophecy of the chosen one who would come and end that era.
That MMA Guru edits, that's the funniest.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I want to see that happen. The fight sells itself. Imagine the press conferences in the lead up. Imagine the fan bases going at each other. Like, it just, I don't know. It's meant to be.
Yeah. Look, the Dagestani era has been interesting because they have been so dominant and at times been accused of being a bit boring because some people just want to see people slog it off in the center of the ring.
Yeah.
But one thing I loved about the Dagestanis, they're so principled. You know, like take someone like, you know, Khabib. He's not like you can throw $1 billion at him. He just doesn't blink. He's like, look, he's about something more than that. He made a promise to his mum, to his mother. No one's going to make him, you know, veer off that promise.
Yeah.
You know, they're not out like McGregor reached the top. Let's not deny what he did, you know, for the fight game.
Yeah.
But when he fell off, he really fell off. And he keeps saying he's coming back and then next thing you know, he's out partying. Then he punches an old man at a pub and he's done what he's done. But the Dagestanis, they're just disciplined and they raise their fighters with a lot of discipline and they teach them, you know, it's God, family, fighting.
Yeah, they're very faith-orientated.
They're very faith-orientated.
Yeah.
So when Ilya came in, and he's the same, obviously he's Georgian and Spanish, but he sort of showed that, hey, they're not the only ones that can do that. You know, have those strong principles.
Yeah.
You know, be very disciplined, have some decorum about how they act, but still be dominant. So, yeah, I think they've brought something very good to the fight game. But I hope Ilya is that guy. That would be awesome.
You're getting behind if it's like who you're backing in terms of your faith. You're getting behind the the Christian.
Yeah, well, look, that is one part of it. Like I love how he puts his faith on display, but he's also just so fun to watch.
Yeah,
you know? You just don't know what's going to happen next. He's this relatively little guy. You know, like I'm 6'4", I'd get mauled by heavyweights, you know.
Yeah.
He's a relatively little guy, but he's hitting these guys like they're being hit with bricks.
Punching power is crazy. Nah, 100%.
And at the end of the day, he's like, yeah, I'm a grappler. You know, I'm gonna submit Islam with his favorite submission. I'm like, man, if he does that, if he catches him in that, you know, the Darcy or whatever, like, that would be insane.
It'd be cool. I'm looking forward to the fight, but I agree with you. Like that's what probably sets the best apart. These guys that are just like, all they do is eat, sleep, train, pray. You know, that's what they're doing in Dagestan. The whole Nurmagomedov family, they're all about that. Khabib's a man of principle. So much so, Daniel Cormier was talking about him the other day. He doesn't even shake women's hand on television screens.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? And you have to respect it because that's how disciplined he is in his faith.
Yeah.
If more people were like that, even just on the Christian side, you know, they probably go a lot further in their discipline, sport, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm getting behind Ilya. That's in terms of if it's Ilya and Islam, I'm team Ilya.
Yeah, that's awesome. And in boxing, who you love to watch in boxing? Have you done as much work in boxing as
Yeah, I would say just an equal amount. I mean, on the Australian side, we've covered a lot of Tim Tszyu events and fights.
He's a great guy personally, right?
Great guy.
I've
great,
heard personally.
Yeah, he's very down to earth, always fun during interviews. But I mean, probably someone right now on the undercards in Australia right now, Ahmed Redder is a top fighter who's put some good wins on the board and will probably be up there in terms of like Australian boxing. But internationally, I would say just those that division where there's Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero's, Tank Davis. That division right now is probably the most engaging and entertaining. The heavyweights, we've gone to Saudi and got to cover like not a Tyson Fury fight, but like a Joey Parker, Bertabia versus Bivol, and they're great. But I don't know, maybe it's a point of preference, but I like the entertaining guys outside of boxing. People that can sell a fight, not just based on their skill in the ring, but that can go out and make a lot of noise. And talk a lot of shit. That's why I enjoyed watching Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone wrote him off as crazy.
Yeah.
So I would say, I enjoy. We got to cover
Rocked
Ryan
up to the press conference drinking what looked
You know what
like
I mean?
beer was probably
whether
not,
he was playing a character or whatever. But I would say Ryan Garcia. Yeah, we got to interview him on the Times Square card. He's entertaining to watch, and that's what a criticism that I've had with like Aussie boxing is there's less characters.
Yeah,
everyone's too scared or doesn't want to make a fool of himself, doesn't want to be seen as the bad guy. Someone's got to start talking shit. Someone's got to be the mundane and start putting it on other guys. Someone's got to be the Ilya and just, I don't think it would be relatively hard to just build a platform up of talking shit and just trying to prove yourself or going out there and
the problem is when you talk shit, you have to back it.
You have to back it, but
need to be confident.
But what's the alternative? You don't talk shit, no one watches your fights.
Yeah.
So if you're really all in on making it a career, and it's easy for me to say because I just talk, make stupid videos online and comedy, but it's like, what's stopping someone from, in this day and age, it's really how many numbers you have and how you can sell a fight. And if people are going to, that's why influencer boxing's taken off. You got Tony Ferguson fighting Salt Puppy on Misfits Boxing.
I was happy to see him win.
It was great to see him get a win after 7-8 years. But I don't know. I like to go with the personalities. Call me a casual, but I like people that can sell their fights and make you want to tune in. That's why you got to respect Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Because people are watching him on Netflix.
Yeah.
And now he's fighting a Tank Davis. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think it makes you a casual. Look, you definitely have your people who are obsessed with the sport and they don't care who's fighting. They love the sport itself. But at the end of the day, most people connect with people. You don't connect with skills. You connect with a person.
Exactly right.
And the UFC has shown and boxing has shown, look, you may be a great boxer, but that's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
Or a great fighter. Like, are we going to sell? Are we going to sell tickets?
It's a business.
It's a business.
Yeah, it's the fight game.
Yeah. And Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. A lot of people were a bit upset about that because Tank Davis is not exactly severely past his prime. He's killing it.
Exactly.
And then he's, hints that he might retire. Then he signs this fight. How do you see that going?
They just want the money fight. That's why they were talking about Anthony Joshua before Tank Davis. Joshua versus Jake Paul. Jake Paul is a money fight in boxing right now. And some boxers get offended by it. Ask Jai Opetaia about Jake Paul. He wants to punch you in the face. Because it's almost an insult. Like, this has been my craft. I've been an Olympian. You know what I mean? And I'm the best cruiserweight in the world, and you ask me about Jake Paul, I actually empathize with his situation.
Yeah. I can see why that's so upsetting, yeah.
It's just the era that you're in. It's a social media era. You got to make enough noise. Jake Paul, say what you want about him, he's made enough noise. He's maybe proven enough skill to where he's commanding a Joshua fight. And whether you think he's going to get bashed or not, you're going to watch it. And I don't know how the Tank Davis fight's going to work, if it's at catch weight. It's a hybrid. It's not a sanctioned kind of professional bout, but I'm going to watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's going to do numbers. So I have that are my thoughts on it. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is a part of you worried that if you don't see Tank Davis destroy him, you're worried about, what's going on here?
No, not really.
Because there was a lot of that with, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, right? Was he pulling his punches? Was he this? Was he that?
Yeah. I wouldn't call into question the integrity of the sport. It has already.
Yeah.
In the past, whether it's judging, rigged fights, whatever. But I wouldn't even say Tank Davis is a heavy favorite, probably more skilled, but big weight,
Big weight, yeah,
big
that's
weight
true, that's
disadvantage
true,
as
yeah.
well. And Jake Paul's just not some run of the mill social media boxer. He's
Yeah.
not a, if I were to jump in the ring, he's pretty skilled. He's knocked out Tyrone Woodley. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
knocked out.
That was a beautiful.
He's knocked out
man.
blokes, and he's a skilled boxer. And it's not just me saying that. Other boxers are noticing his skill. You ask like a Fundora, a Tim Tszyu about him, and I say full credit to him. He got ranked as a cruiserweight, whether you think it's reputable or not. But I think he's proven himself enough to where he's shown some skill and he's making enough noise. You have to respect him.
And he's bringing attention to the game.
100%.
He's bringing money to the game.
That's what people want to see.
Have you ever considered, John, running a influencer boxing event in Australia? Because they've done it a few times in the US and it's worked well.
They've done some here. They've done some. There was one in Queensland, I think it was, that I forgot the guys who ran it, but they put on a massive ticketed event. It did pretty well. But I just don't think Australia has the same appetite for content creators doing things in TV. TV is heavily gatekept in itself. When you look at the US and the UK, they're much more approachable in terms of getting content creators on, especially the bigger ones, your KSIs, your Speeds.
It is a bigger market, yeah.
You know what I mean? But you're talking to a lot more people. Streamers are really popular in the US.
Yeah.
Here, Australia, there's not many big streamers. And if there are, it's to a very niche audience.
Yeah. And that's if they haven't already moved to the US, yeah.
Maybe that takes off. Here in the next 5 years, we're always behind the curve, like when it comes to the US and what's taken off in the US. But Australians we're just still we just watch sports, we watch reality TV, and the social media guys are still just social media guys. It's just what it is. If you want to make it bigger outside of Australia, you probably have to go to the UK or the US. That's just the landscape of it right now. And I don't think there's a big appetite for, if you get these big content creators on a boxing card, even if it is a no limit card, is it going to sell? Are people going to go? Are people going to pay to watch it on pay-per-view?
Realistically, the biggest names will just end up being sports
They're
stars
ex-NRL
anyway.
players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's Paul Gallons, Justin Hodges, Jordan Simmies, that jump in the ring. So, yeah, I don't think there's a big appetite for it here.
What about ex-NRL players versus politicians? That would sell.
I'd love to watch politicians get bashed, but I don't know if any politicians getting in the ring.
Yeah.
I think there's just a market for the ex-NRL guy getting into boxing, and that's what we've seen so far in Australia. I don't know if it goes further than that. But as content creators are becoming more popular than your celebrities, your TV stars, I think you're going to see more content people be propped up and going into the sports arenas. Like your bloke in a bar's going into Fox Sports, or your ex-NRL guys that have a platform on social media, but they're not TV guys, like Willie Mason. They're going to be pushed into the mainstream a bit more, and that's where there's room for content guys to, not just in rugby league, in all sports, soccer, boxing. That's where it's probably
You've
headed.
been a bit of a trailblazer for the Aussies in that sense, for someone who built a platform purely on social media, and now you're very closely associated with these sports. Like, I'll find a random UFC video and then I'll just see your head pop up interviewing.
Yeah.
So hopefully we see more of that.
Yeah.
So look, you do a lot on social media. I wanted to ask you, how do you balance, and we sort of touched on it a little bit, but in a little bit more detail, how do you balance maintaining your values with essentially the fame of it all? Because, I mean, your Instagram, have you crossed 400,000 yet?
Yeah, I think we're at like 420.
You're at 420, right?
Yeah.
You would get recognized all the time,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's Belmore, it was Sydney,
Yeah,
internationally probably. And I think people don't realize sometimes how much that can affect someone's psyche. Like having random people approach you, and of the people that approach you, what percentage are negative versus positive, would you say?
I don't have really many negative experiences
Okay.
with people. Everyone's positive when you see them in person.
Yeah.
Like,
They're just negative in the comments section if they're going to be. Yeah.
Even so, I kind of enjoy the negative comments more. It's just like, if it's a valid criticism, like I think the other week it was for how retarded my spelling was. And it was like in one of the
You know, I
videos.
recorded a podcast with him yesterday.
Yeah.
The guy, Rob Haddad, he told me, he
but
goes,
he's spot on. Like,
he goes, I said I'm going to be interviewing you. He goes, I love John, but the video on taxes was so funny, but he's spelling. So I dropped the comment.
Yeah.
And he goes, and he agreed with me.
he's 100% right. And that's probably a fault of like me and Nick doing our own editing and we're rushing to get stuff out.
Yeah.
But like, there's always valid criticisms. You know, and the ones that aren't as valid that are just like putting shit on you, you know, if they're entertaining, they're entertaining. I don't read too much into it. I used to try and respond to a lot of comments. Now it's more just like oppressive. I just want to get videos out.
Yeah.
So
just focus on the craft.
Yeah, I don't know. In terms of like, I don't really have many negative experiences. And you're right. Yeah, we do get recognized a lot and people are coming up and taking photos. And
because the
I just
positive
find
experiences,
it's fun.
it is fun, but do you think that it can it can inflate potentially, if one's not careful, inflate one's ego to the point where they can start to sway away from their values?
I can 100%
Like
can see.
fame. Look, we've seen what fame has done to people across history, right?
Yeah.
How do you protect your value system while still growing the way you are?
I just think it's family. Like, you know, I'm so blessed that I've got such a supporting family. Like me and my brother, we do it together. I'm not doing it by myself. Whether it's ideating videos or coming up with punchlines or whatever, coming up with interview questions for UFC fighters. I get to do it with my brothers. And then if, you know, I'm deviating away from values, I have my brothers that are saying, what are you doing? They're almost
How many brothers do you have?
4.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
And they all help you with...
Yeah, we're all like
They
we're
keep
bouncing
you
around.
accountable,
Yeah,
yeah.
keeping me accountable. I think they keep me on a straight and narrow path because you can deviate away. You're right. You
Yeah.
can question faith, beliefs, but ultimately, if you have a good support system, you know, my brother Nick is very big on his faith. You know, and that just I'm with him 24/7, so that's always going to rub off on me.
Yeah.
So I would say having a sense of humility all the time because, you know, if you think you're a bigger celebrity than you are, you take yourself way too seriously, that's just detrimental to you. You don't relate to everyday people anymore.
Yeah.
You lose. I'm still just a bloke in Belmore living with my brothers. You know what I mean? So I would just say having a
good support network.
A good support network. It's your family. And I probably operate with I don't really care what many other people think about me personally.
Yeah.
I just only care what my family thinks about me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I kind of operate. As long as if my parents or my brothers had the shits with the decision that I made, then that probably hurts me the most. If someone else, some random follower or someone that doesn't even follow me is getting stuck into me, you know, it's not gonna rub me the wrong way. I don't really care. I really more so just care about my family and immediate family members. Yeah,
I think that the resilience you would develop. I mean, you can approach people on the streets of pretty much any country, and I've seen your videos. I remember the one in Paris, for example. Was that the one where you were handing gloves to people?
For boxing?
Yeah,
I think we did it was around the Olympics times.
That's right.
We did it was when there was the trans athlete in question.
Yeah.
It was so it was just me versus another. I think there was a midget, and that was just the comparison of fairness. It was for the other female boxers, but
the ability to be able to approach random people on the street and ask questions, potentially embarrass yourself, that sort of no shame attitude, you have to have a level of resilience for that. Whereas you take like a celebrity who, you know, came up as an actor in Hollywood, they don't necessarily share the same resilience, and they're more likely to be affected by what random people think. So I think it's a good thing that you sort of have that no shame attitude towards strangers. If I can read something you wrote, and this is public, this is in your public broadcast channel. I couldn't stop laughing when I read this.
I didn't even remember. Go on.
A lot of comments and messages asking me if I think it's funny to body shame people. Yes, it is.
Okay, that's
I couldn't stop laughing, and I'll tell you why I can't stop laughing, because at the end of the day, you're a comedian, and
100%.
all someone has to do, if they don't like your content, you press the 3 dots and say, "Don't show me this guy's crap
or
anymore." Or block. You know, That I think you need to have that attitude. Otherwise, it's impossible to produce content that's valuable, that will go viral, and everyone loves it. You
Yeah.
can't have all three.
No, 100%. And that was in relation to a video we did. There was this large woman on an airplane. She was huge. She's filming herself and she's sitting up and down on the seat. I filmed a reaction video to that with a flight attendant on board. She didn't even know she was in the video. Like, we were just looking at the seat, and it was a funny.
Yeah.
The video got, I think, like 70 million views, right?
Wow, is this on TikTok?
On Instagram.
Oh, wow.
And it got reported heaps. People asking me to take it down, whatever. But a lot of people saw the humor in it because it's absurd. This like woman's taking up 3 seats on a plane, and she's like reveling in it. You know what I mean? And I just thought, I thought it was harmless. I think it was like it's for comedic purposes. And you know, at the end of the day, I'm a comedian. I just put funny videos up. You can choose to find it funny. You cannot. You don't have to take everything so seriously. And that's why, like, when there is backlash. You know, there was some old lady from Channel 9 that there was an article like saying like, me reacting to something was sexist or misogynistic. It's like when Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr has a WNBA joke, is he seen as sexist or misogynistic, or is he making a joke? Is he making light of something that's a joke? And that's why I think it's like you can't take yourself too seriously. Otherwise, maybe you just become a politician and people are just looking at you as a source of information, which I don't want to be that. I also want to play the comedian character. But that's a discussion online everyone has is, can you have it both ways? Can you be someone that's not political, but just, being informative, showing it in a funny light like that tax video, but are you a comedian as well?
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan falls into that sometimes where he did stand up, but he gets paid $100 million to host the show where he has people on there say, "Oh, can you use his platform for this?" So it's like, I don't know, it's a fine line. I prefer being the comedian, to be honest.
I think you're allowed to be a comedian and share your views on politics or religion or whatever you want. If people aren't happy, just don't watch. If someone didn't like Dave Chappelle's joke or Bill Burr's joke, all you have to do is get up and walk out.
100%.
And they'll probably make fun of you for doing that, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And then you're done. You know, like for me, there are some jokes I don't like to listen to, and it's usually ones that relate to my faith, like ones that are very profane, and I switch off and I don't listen. You know, I don't rally for them to do this.
You don't want to get them cancelled
because that will one day happen to me.
Yeah, 100%. I think there'd be a difference between blaspheming, and also creating a clever joke, Like some of the content creators that I like that are just Catholic-only content creators, some of them do skits. John is Catholic, does funny skits. He knows how to walk a fine line between, stepping overboard or like not taking the piss too much. But you're also saying jokes that are just like from a non-Catholic almost about Catholic. Whereas like I think people have the right to do it.
Have the right,
I mean?
Yeah. And if I don't like it, I don't have to watch.
100%.
Look, I've had some content where I got in a bit of trouble for. And it wasn't even like comedic content. It's like I get in trouble when I'm being serious, And I understood, but it's look, you don't have to. I'm not forcing you to consume my content. Like these are people that don't follow your stuff, saying, "Hey, only produce this kind of content for your followers." It's okay. Just tune out. Block me. Say this guy's an idiot, and block me. I don't have a problem with that. So it becomes a little bit hard because it can get a bit much. And my channel is a drop in the ocean compared to yours.
It's growing.
And it's still like sometimes, man, people need to just relax a little bit. So I can only imagine with your scale.
I just think maybe it's made me a bit more like I tend not to socialize as too much. I don't go out clubbing too often. Like I don't enjoy that kind of aspect of like, I still like enjoy meeting people and whatnot, but I don't know. I'm just more so insulated a little bit more. Like I just enjoy what I'm doing. I'm with my brothers. I'm making content every day. Like so. Yeah,
you keep your lifestyle relatively wholesome. You're not out every night till late partying and trying to take advantage of how big your platform is. You're just doing it for the love of what you do.
Yeah, I just enjoy doing it. So I'm just gonna keep riding it.
Yeah, and you're not married.
No,
you're not.
No.
Are you?
Not anytime soon either.
Why not?
No.
How old are you, John?
28. Yeah.
20. Why not anytime soon?
I just haven't met anyone.
Oh, okay. I thought you said not anytime soon. I thought maybe you're deliberately.
Well, look, if you're doing the numbers, you're probably need a good year and a half before you can get engaged. So maybe sometime soon.
No. If you're switched on, 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as you get older, it just slowly becomes.
It does.
Hey, 3. Let's do 2 months.
Yeah.
No rush. Like, I mean.
So you're not spoken for yet?
No one's speaking for me. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone will speak for me.
Yeah.
Ever.
Do you think your platform has made it harder in terms of your vocation to? I mean, because obviously I assume you intend to one day get married and you'd like to have a
that's the
family.
ultimate goal. I think that's the whole purpose
Has
of
it
life.
become harder because of your platform? It's hard to discern why someone's taken it. There's no doubt there's thousands of girls who'd be keen. The question is why.
Yeah,
you know?
I would say, I think anyone that has probably a platform or a social following, it'd probably be a bit more difficult for him. Look at Nick Kyrgios, for example. Like, he's just broke up with his missus, like, and he'd been together with her for a long time. I'm sure he'd probably have the same thing. The guy's got 4 million followers.
Yeah, far out. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, you're always going to run into that aspect of that platform would make it harder to meet people. For whatever reason, could be people have a certain notion of you, or they think that you're one way. It could also be you're not meeting the right quality type of people in the DMs, or it would make it a bit more difficult. Same would be for you. I think would be any public figure. Like, you go out there doing these talks, people have this certain notion of you. Like, do they want to go out with this guy?
But look, I think I may have experienced it on a very minute scale, but there's obviously levels to it,
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what my experience has been in a very limited capacity, in a very small capacity compared to you probably, is because I do talks, because I do this stuff, there are certain perceptions about what kind of person I am and what kind of temperament I have.
Yeah.
So people meet the guy that does talks and does podcasts.
Yeah.
They don't know that I'm quite melancholic as well, which means that most of the time I'm at home by myself and I don't talk. And I prefer to sit in silence a lot of the time.
Oh,
and that can be very jarring for people.
You read? You're a reader?
Yeah, I read, but I'm just, the melancholic temperament is very introspective, very reflective. I drive sometimes in complete silence for hours. Yeah, sometimes I don't want to listen to music. I just want to sit there in silence and...
No podcasts on? No rosary?
Rosary, of course, yeah. If it's not done, for sure,
Yeah.
But the point is, people build up a perception of what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
And some people just think because I do talks, I'm this ultra-religious, like, hard-headed, this is the standard, anything less, you're condemned. It's like, hold on, I'm a normal person. I actually play COD occasionally. I play basketball with my brother and a team. Yeah. And there are things that I go hang out with my mates.
It's a perception thing.
It's a perception, but that's on such a small level. And then I think for you, because of the space you're in, at least like I'm in the mostly Catholic space. And so perceptions of me are probably more in line with my identity.
Yeah.
You're in the comedy, sometimes completely secular comedy media.
Yeah.
Most people probably don't know your value system. Most people probably don't know your faith as well. And of course, you don't hide it, but it's not at the core of everything you do. So
100%.
I guess my question, look, I'll just ask you straight, and feel free, you don't have to answer this. What does this woman look like that you would one day, what does she look like to you?
Yeah, Lebanese, Maronite Catholic. I've said that before, even jokingly, but I would say it's the exact same as you. Like, I have that thing of like, and it probably rubbed off on my brother too, which is unfortunate. But it's like, yeah, we probably do have a perception of being like troublemakers, and but it is what it is. That's the line of work we're in. It's what we enjoy, so it comes with it. I'm like you. We're pretty private people. Like, I don't put any personal life on my Instagram or TikTok. It's really just. It's just comedy. Yeah. And that's all I've ever wanted it to be.
But you got to give me more than just Maronite Catholic. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of them. But like, what does she look like?
I'm a pretty open-minded person. Like, I'm not, it doesn't, like, I don't have like a type or anything. But yeah, someone that has the same values. Like, and that's just the preference. Yeah, Catholic woman, that's just like pretty normal. The rule is, I think, that I have with my brother is no e-girls, no influencers.
Why is that?
No, not even necessarily influencers with a following. Just even girls that are too much on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, they're too materialistic. Because it's just like, that's not what what we are. Just not a match. It's not like a.
This is a very interesting point. So it's not even necessarily that they're influencers, but people who are too out there on Instagram with what they post about themselves.
And people might say that's hypocritical. I don't even care if it is, but like because the perception is that you're online, and it's like, yeah, but that's also it's like I think there's a difference between occupation and just doing it for the sake of doing it because everyone else is doing it, and it speaks to people's character. I don't know. It's just a preference.
Yeah. If you want, let me rephrase it for you, and I'll get in trouble instead of you, right?
Yeah.
Because I share the same view, and I've been told I'm a bit hypocritical for it as well, albeit much smaller following.
Usually it's just women saying it.
Yeah.
That it's hypocritical, so I don't really care. You know what I mean?
100%. But here's, I think, what it is, and tell me if you feel the same way. It's that your concern is that, and we're only speaking about women because we're men. Obviously, you're looking for a woman. But your concern is that a woman indulges continually in vanity online.
Yeah, you put it probably in a better way than I could.
It's the vanity of it. There's, and I've made this point before. When you post something on Instagram, ask yourself, why am I posting it? When a girl posts a story every single day of her like pouting in the mirror, why are you posting that? Like, why? Give me a reason. Is the reason, hey, because it feels really good when I have 200 people like that photo or like that story. But then you've got someone like people on Instagram who might share, them and, their friends on a holiday or with their family at the beach or whatever. It's like, all right, cool. You're sharing people share what matters to them. You can share your family. You can share your values. You share comedy, right? Now, I think what you're trying to say is, and correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, you do everything on social media. It's your job. But you don't do it for the vanity of it. You do it because it's your job and you love to put it out. You love to put out comedy.
I don't think I'm helping the situation by doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like sometimes
not.
I'm in Chicago and I'm putting up stories like a travel influencer and, hey, I'm in this city. But I feel like I'm doing it. I'm playing the game. I'm doing it from a business standpoint sometimes.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, like you said, a lot of people are doing it for the vanity. I'm not better than anyone else.
Yeah.
And maybe I get caught up doing stuff like that too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying my personal preference is I don't want an e-girl.
Yeah.
I don't want someone that's chronically online, posting bikini photos all the time. I know you've had a thing about bikini pics before.
Yeah. Well, look, it's pretty simple, John. Like if any, and some people consider this controversial or insecure, stuff those people, but any good, virtuous man will not accept sharing his attention with other men.
Yeah. I think that's just reasonable.
It's that simple. And I've said that heaps of times before. Like I'm more than...
who do you get pushback on that point from? I think most like your Catholic audience would agree with that.
You'd think so. But then there's nuances to it. For example, so your secular crowd will say you're just an insecure man. What's it to you? It's like, what do you mean? What's it to me? But then within the Catholic world, some people say, yeah, I completely agree. But then they make a post and you just want to ask them, hey, why did you post that? Now, obviously, I don't ask random people that, but I think to myself, why did you just post that?
Yeah.
There has to be an intent behind what we post. It's very hard to justify repeatedly posting selfies, repeatedly reposting immodest photos of yourself.
Yeah.
It's very hard to justify that from a Catholic standpoint. Now, some people don't like that. Like, hey, so what? Like, I got ready and I took a photo in my mirror and I posted it. And it's like, okay, would you still post it if there was no like feature and there was no comment feature?
So they get gassed up by the girls, you know what I mean, in the comments.
Yeah, well, get girls and guys.
Yeah.
There are even Catholic, and I've got a bit of a problem with other Catholic influencers in the US, right? Because some of them, I've got a problem with everyone, John.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
This is why I just stay home. But some of them, they will post things online.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They post things, and these are Catholic creators who make Catholic content. And it's like, hold on, this photo you just posted, all I have to do is read the comments, and it tells me why you posted it. I'll give you an example. A girl posts a photo. It's like her standing in front of some rose bush or something, smiling, looking pretty. And then all the text is like some theological thing about modesty. But then all the comments, beautiful, beautiful, you're amazing. Where do I find a woman like this? Beautiful. And it's just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And there's a vanity there that you have to be careful of.
Well, it's just this day and age, bro. It's like we're in the era of gender reveals We're
Yeah.
in the era of like, let's film our engagement. Whereas, traditionally, our parents, grandparents, they didn't do shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's either, and you'll find like, I don't know what your socials is like. I feel like everyone is veering back to traditionalism.
Yeah.
And
Would you consider yourself traditional?
my values are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
your
sure.
values. So-
yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So would you say that essentially the girl that you're looking for is a traditional girl?
This is like a good therapy session.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, look, ultimately 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
just someone normal. Just
Yeah.
someone normal. But I understand.
I love that you call traditional normal. I
Yeah.
think we need to do more of that. Yeah.
But I understand that how someone can view that as hypocritical. And I'm at a point where, selfishly, I'm working a lot. I'm traveling a lot. You know what I mean? I'm traveling once a month overseas, covering events.
Yeah.
So I don't really I haven't dedicated the time to
Yeah.
find someone normal. When I say not anytime soon,
Yeah.
I mean it in that sense. Like I'm pretty focused, but ultimately, I probably do have to get a move on because I'm 28
Yeah.
and I'd like to find someone,
Yeah.
of a similar age, or younger, preferably.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is traditional.
Yeah. I think it's completely
And
fair.
I feel sorry for women that are getting conned into the vanity of Instagram and stuff like that because it doesn't end well. It ends up you're doing the same thing at 35 with no one and you're miserable and you're working a job, and you're becoming the old cat lady. You know what I mean? That happens. I used to work in these marketing jobs and you see a lot of them are bitter and it affects their personality. And you think it wouldn't happen to Catholic girls. It does. And it almost shapes their opinion and veers them away from the church, I think, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I think where I was getting at is I had assumed, I mean, we'd had a few conversations before about this at the Marinite Sports Day, but people think because you're on social media and you do what you do, that somehow you're ineligible for a more traditional wife.
Yeah.
Which isn't the case because just because of what you do, it doesn't mean you don't hold traditional values. But that's hard because that's the place, that's where you're exposed to the most. You're in that world and people will make assumptions that, these are just these two troublemaking lebos that, go around and...
That's the game. That's the
which
game.
is
I
hard.
understand. Perception is reality nowadays.
Yeah.
So if that's the perception, I understand that. I'm willingly doing it. Would I
Yeah.
do it again? 100%.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it right now. But it's also on me as well. Like I actually have to be living a good traditional Catholic life if I want someone like that.
Yeah.
So it does go both ways.
Yeah.
But you're right. I wouldn't say it's made it more difficult. I think it's made it easier to meet people. People know, if where I'm at, wherever I am, people know that's the guy on Instagram. That's the guy on TikTok. It probably makes me a bit more approachable. My small talk's gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Because I've had to
that's rough.
to chat to a lot more people when you're out and about. Which, I enjoy it at that aspect. But you're right, trying to find someone quality or that meets your traditional values, and it might be a bit more difficult, but it's probably what I signed up for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a season of the Catholic Bachelor or something.
Yeah, but
With
even
the
isn't that
Kairouz
just
brothers.
vanity as well? Isn't
Yeah.
that just
Yeah.
okay, no.
That's why I said the Catholic
Yeah,
Bachelor. We'd have to do it
yeah.
differently.
Yeah.
We'd have to do it differently.
Who are your top 5 Catholic content creators right now?
Top 5. That's a very good question. I'm pretty critical, eh?
Really?
It's, let me just think. I've never actually even thought about this. Anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Saying
All
anywhere.
over the US, here.
Here, are there any content creators?
Because that's a big thing, like the what are they called? The layman apostolate, the lay
Yeah.
apostolate is a
Yeah.
massive thing now.
It's
and the
changed
Pope's kind of
everything.
been pushing it, saying don't get off socials. This is a way to kind of evangelize people. So it's like you're seeing the rise of the Catholic content creator, not even Catholic, even just Christian content creators.
Yeah.
But
You know what? I have to think about this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, do you like any in particular?
I kind of follow a fair few of them.
Yeah.
And it's funny, these debates always go over my head because I'm not very.
Yeah.
I just get lost in some of them,
Yeah.
some of the theology. But I like Tim Gordon. He's on socials. He
Yeah,
runs a YouTube channel. pretty like knowledgeable.
Yeah, he's pretty hardcore as well. I like him.
That voice of reason, obviously, up until what happened recently, which was rough.
Yeah.
Don't go down the voice of reason route if you're going to pursue this life.
Look, the voice of reason thing, is interesting because, of course, he admitted to certain things.
I actually feel bad for him.
I do as well, and I'll tell you why. Look, I put out a video a couple months ago, and
they call him Voice of Diddy now on socials. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I've seen a couple of comments like that. Yeah.
Look, I put out a video a couple months ago.
Yeah.
By the way,
no, I'm on the waters.
you don't have at all?
No, not much. Only celebratory occasions.
Well, we're celebrating.
I'll have a little bit.
We'll have a little. Just try this. It's good stuff, courtesy of Mr. Michael.
Okay.
American Honey. And just while I do that, I went to St. Michael's Cave in Italy. It's a cave where St. Michael appeared to St. Lawrence. And he actually consecrated that cave as a church. It's the only church on the planet that was consecrated by an angel and not a bishop on earth. And so I've got this icon of St. Michael. St. Michael, as you know, is the protector from evil. And in your ministry, you're probably going to need this. So I actually got this. It's only a small thing.
No, man, I appreciate it.
What do you give a man who can get whatever he wants?
That's awesome.
We'll give him that. So hopefully that helps you a little bit with your ministry.
Thank you, man.
And keeps you on the straight and narrow path
I think it definitely will. Yeah.
That your family's been keeping you on.
I appreciate that.
I'll just put a little bit, man. I'm not going to...
Legend.
So I put out a video. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Welcome to the Francis Tamer Show in the Humble Studio. So I put out a video a few months ago, and I pretty much said, if you're new to the faith, you've just converted or reverted, meaning you've always been Catholic, but you've, come back to the faith, don't start posting clips about teaching people how to be Catholic.
Yeah.
Give it a few years until you've reached a sort of consistency in your spiritual life.
Yeah.
Because what tends to happen is, okay, now you're Catholic, that's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Now you're putting up videos about your Catholicism and teaching people how to be Catholic, but you have not yet developed the skills and the spiritual life to be able to manage what comes with that. Because of the internet, as you know, you can become famous overnight.
Very true.
And fame affects people.
Yeah.
It affects people badly. And so, I'm teaching the faith, or I'm, talking to people about the faith. If you don't have that developed virtue, you are going to struggle. Now, some people, again, will say, Francis, you're a hypocrite. You're on social media. Yes, I am. But like, with all respect, I've been in church ministry for 10 years. It's only the last 6 months that I've gone really hard on social media. It's been 10 years. And not to say I'm perfect, but there's a lot of risk involved. There's a Catholic creator in the US who has admitted to she sleeps in the same bed as her boyfriend.
So they call that cohabitating or something like that?
Yeah. Like, when we're on holiday, we sleep in the same bed, but we don't do anything. We've been chased for a year. We read the Bible before we sleep. It's like, hold on. And that was a public comment, It's like, but you can't call yourself a Catholic content creator and advocate a Catholicism that you're still learning. And it's fine that you're learning, but there's a lot of risk. And so with Voice of Reason, he was from a very young age. He's a self-proclaimed prodigy, and he's quite
a good speaker.
He's a good speaker, and he's got great content. But a lot of things can go wrong when you're not yet ready. Yeah. And so now his private sins. Now there's the accusation of the minor, which
I think he denied that.
He's denied that, and if that's true, there's a major problem, right? Yeah. But it doesn't seem like it is. The other stuff, as bad as it is, those are private sins. Private sins that people revealed for the wrong reason. It was just like, hey, we got to get this guy,
Yeah.
So it's not a good thing what he's done for sure.
Yeah.
But what was disappointing is he did the apology video and he was very honest. I don't know if you saw it. It was like an apology on YouTube. But really, in my opinion, the next step is, for the foreseeable future, you need to stop your ministry online.
Really?
Of course.
Yeah. But
stop and go and help yourself spiritually first.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think. I'm happy for you to disagree.
I was like disappointed, obviously, but like, I feel for him because he's like just any guy, in their 20s, that even a guy of faith that's repeatedly sinning and going to confession, and you know what I mean. He's just like, but his only fault was he was preaching it online, like you said. So that's why I feel for him to an extent, because he's just like any young male. You know what I mean? So I empathize with the situation there, but
because of his platform, John,
I agree.
there's this thing of public scandal now, you know,
and you don't want to bring that with the church.
That's
exactly.
right. It's about the scandal. You got to be very careful, John. When I respond to DMs, I respond with an underlying assumption that everyone's going to see my messages.
Yeah,
it's the safest thing to do. I've never responded in a way to any DM where I'm fearful they'll ever show someone.
Or get screenshotted, get sent around.
Send it. Send my response to whoever you want. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything I respond with, I have to do that because I've got to protect myself. But I also can't bring scandal to the church. If Francis Tamer, who's done talks at all these churches, gets done for these things, firstly, it's bad.
But ultimately, I'm saying no one's perfect.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
That's,
so
that's
you might have private sins as well. They're just not going to they're not going to be named publicly. His did.
You're
which is
100% right, but because look, it was wrong how it happened, but it's happened now.
Yeah, I know. It happens.
So what do you do?
I know.
You know, what do you do?
But I don't know. I enjoy his stuff.
John, would you give up all of your social media accounts forever if it meant you save your soul?
Yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I want to get to a point where I don't even operate it. Someone just posting.
Of course,
for me.
but my point is, what price do we put on our salvation?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying if he continues, he won't be saved. What I'm saying is, obviously, a lot of things have come with his online platform that have tempted him. Okay, and you're right. It's a private sin. It's not one's business, really, especially when it's not illegal. But now that it has come out, so okay, step away from the platform and get yourself right first.
Yeah.
There's work to be done there. Detach. People become very attached. I realize sometimes, hey, why have I checked the views on this video like 4 times today? Who cares? 1,000 people or 10,000 people, you know, like just put out good content and let it go. You know, we develop these attachments that we have to be willing to give up.
Yeah, but on the same notion, like he can use the platform for good, and he's someone that he can say, I've sinned in public. You know what I mean? And you can always be redeemed. I don't know. Maybe he can be an example of that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say get off all socials.
Yeah,
I think he can still be of merit. You know what I mean? But I'm not an expert. But I don't know. I liked him. Sam Shamoon, I think, is hilarious. I love watching some of him going nuts. And also he's very informative sometimes.
Man.
Yeah, I like how cutthroat he is.
Yeah.
I can't really think. Yeah, like I said, John is Catholic. His brother, Father Sam, they're pretty funny sometimes.
Can I just say, the whole French family is amazing. I don't know if you've met the others, but
I never met him in person.
Yeah, there's also Matt in the seminary, phenomenal guy.
Yeah.
All of the Frenches are they're awesome. They're an awesome family. They really love the faith.
Yeah. Controversial one, Nick Fuentes.
Oh,
I think that his Catholic point of view, I reckon it has pushed a lot of people to either become Catholic or get more serious with their faith. And I think he's entertaining online. He's a really good speaker.
Yeah, he's in a different space, I guess, as well. Like in streaming, more political streaming. Yeah, look, I'm quite cautious generally who I say I really like, unless I've seen most of their content. Because if I say, like for example, before I said, Tim Gordon's pretty good, but like then I think I haven't actually seen enough of Tim Gordon to say that.
You haven't watched.
Yeah, I've seen some of him. I think I've got one of his books even. Like the stuff I've seen has been good, but I haven't seen everything. And people are very quick, like, but he once said this. I didn't know he said that. You know.
Yeah.
But he is pretty good. I've seen his stuff on masculinity, and I appreciate how
direct he is.
How direct he is. Yeah, because it's definitely lacking. It's a hard world now for men. And people hate that I say that, but I believe it's true. It is. Yeah. It's hard for women too in a different way, but it's hard for men because we're told that being masculine is a bad thing.
True.
Being masculine is a bad thing, and my view is that
would you say women have it easier in this era now? In this day and age, overall, compared to men?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me take a sip before I answer. Now you're trying to get me in trouble.
Nah. I think being an attractive woman right now would be pretty sweet. Would be pretty, like I've had opportunities where it's like, hey, we didn't opt with you. We actually went for, the broadcaster said they wanted a woman. Not saying that's with Kay, that's just with any platform. That's an anecdotal example, but I'm saying like, even in terms of opportunities, the way that, I don't know how, maybe potentially how easy it would be to go about life. Like imagine you just being like an attractive woman with like 200,000 Instagram followers, do whatever you want, marry a rich guy. Maybe not the most fulfilling thing ever. Maybe not spiritually fulfilling, but it happens. And then say you want to divorce the guy, then you get 50%. Say, mate, if I was a hot chick, man, I reckon I'd be at 1 million followers right now. If I was a good sort doing what I was doing.
Look, if I was doing, look, honestly, I've made this joke before. If I was an attractive woman doing what I'm doing, I'd be on way more than 17,000 followers. I think for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Look, let's just say
You'd be like Girls Gone Bible. Is that what they are?
Girls Gone Bible, yeah. That just keeps falling over. Yeah, it's Girls Gone Bible. They blew up so quickly, and it's like, wow, our ministry is just growing. It's like, I'm not sure that's
too cringe for me.
Yeah.
Too cringe for me.
Firstly, what kind of name is Girls Gone Bible? Like, why are you playing on Girls Gone Wild?
Yeah.
I think Trent Horn made the comparison. It's like me starting a podcast called Pray Boy.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a coincidence that you get these like really attractive women having their socials like blow up, you know. But you were saying all women versus all men. We're not just simply the 1% of women, right, who has it easier. I would even say, even for that attractive woman who has 200,000 Instagram followers, who marries a rich guy, everyone's got temptations that lead them off the path to God. That's my view. 100%. And so if you're asking me who's got it easier, I would say I think we both have it just as hard in completely different ways.
That's a political answer.
Yeah. It's look, but I'm considering the spiritual element.
I agree.
The reality is, man, like it's also hard. Like growing up as a female in the world of social media, that's rough. Like if you haven't been properly, you know, loved and validated from your dad, you're really going to struggle. You know what I mean? Because the comparison, you're being compared to millions at a time.
True.
You know? So there's that struggle for women. And then for men, we're pretty much told that, hey, if you even act like a man, you're a toxic, you're a toxic asshole, and, you know, you need to be stripped of all these toxic things you've developed.
Yeah. Do you think it's changing?
It is changing. I think our generation is becoming a little bit more open about what we believe. I think people are no longer afraid to say, I don't want some girl who's all over Instagram. And I'm a traditional guy. If you don't like it, that's fine. I think men need to do that more. I think that the effects of feminism have been so widespread and so subtle.
That's a Tim Gordon thing.
They have affected everyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what the most even talking about this might get me in a bit of trouble with some of my...
I feel like you got to stop saying that.
Yeah.
You got to stop saying, hey, this might get me in a bit of trouble. Just say it.
Oh, yeah. I'm still going to say it. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to say it. I'm still going to say it. You want to be known as the guy that... You're the guy tackling the topics no one wants to cover. That's how you got to approach this. And I do.
You know what I mean?
I'm just acknowledging. It's probably going to upset some people. I don't care. My whole thing is I want to do right by our Lord and our Blessed Mother. Everyone else, I couldn't care less. You know what I mean? But I want to show you the video that got me in trouble. I'd like to get your thoughts on it. Because I never thought this was my most controversial video until I posted it. And
what was it about?
It was about parenting and bath time. Let me just...
I remember this one. Yeah. I've seen it.
Okay, you've seen it?
Play it, though.
I might play it for you. Because, this was about the, hey, don't call me. I'm with my family, bath time right now. It's like... I'll just show you.
Your yes has no... I'm not claiming to be a dad. What I don't understand, Ed, is why, when you're talking to a grown man, he's like unreachable and off limits between the hours of like 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Because they've got to bath one child and put them to sleep. I haven't had that experience. I understand there's special situations. Maybe a child has specific behavioural issues or whatever. Even if you're organising something that you would consider of importance, I can't. We've got to put the kid down. Firstly, when you say put the kid down, it doesn't sound right.
It's true.
It's like a monkey in a zoo that needs to be tranquilized, you know? But I get the terminology, regardless. I think most of the time, on average, besides the exceptions, usually one parent can take care of business with one kid, you know?
You trying to say it's the mother's role?
It's me, whatever.
If it's not you, it's me.
You go back to like the village days and women having like 8, 9, 10 kids and they just make it work. Now it's like, it's bath time, all hands on deck. We have one kid.
That's pretty funny.
I'm not claiming...
So, look, I never thought that was the most controversial thing on my page, but that probably had the most backlash. like people calling clergy, priests, complaining, hey, this is the guy that does talks. Why is he speaking this way? Why is he undermining fatherhood? Why is he discounting the difficulty of motherhood? And I was a bit shocked.
Yeah.
And I was shocked because
I really like maybe 90% of the comments would probably be mums.
yes, even though I was addressing dads, yes,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
mums,
yeah.
which is the irony of it. But the point that I'm trying to make is there was something very specific that I'm addressing, right? As a man, we're called to lead.
Yeah.
We're called to lead our families. I believe wholeheartedly, as scripture tells us and the church tells us, the husband is the head of the house. And none of this, but she's the neck, she turns the head how she wants. No. That's evil. All right. We are the head of the house. We're called to lead our families to heaven.
I've heard this homily in
Yeah.
marriage ceremonies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Shout out to Father Ellie.
Yeah. Father Ellie, he doesn't muck around. That's good. That's what I believe. And so, but also part of being a man leading a family is you're also part of a community,
Yeah.
right? Now, I've got my ministry, and God willing, one day I hope to get married. God willing, I can keep up my ministry. And there will be other things that I juggle with my family. My family always comes first, but I still juggle other things, right? I should not have to stop participating in things where I'm bringing value to my community because my wife will get upset if I don't.
Yeah. I think that's what they call them, simps. You don't want to be a simp. No.
Correct.
100%.
But
I agree
that's-
with what you're saying.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I even mentioned at one point, if it's not me, it's you, in the sense, like, how are you supposed to have 3, 4, 5, 6 kids and big families when one kid, everyone has a meltdown? Now people have a child, John, right? When they have a child, they say to you, Francis, when you have a kid, your whole life changes. Everything changes. It's like, yeah, okay, but why does it have to be that bad? I've got a mate, when they had their first kid, right? Of course his life changed. But when we would do a trip to Stockton to go, fall driving on the sand dunes, he took like a few-month-old baby. And when it got too much there, he's like, look, we got to leave. She's a bit unsettled. Okay, that's fine.
Fair enough.
Like they would still go out. They'd still go do things. There are
Yeah.
people, they stop going out. They stop doing anything. We've got a child now. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I understand, but things are as hard as we make it. And I was very clear, outside of
Growing pains.
yeah, growing pains. But back
Continue
to
where you were going.
back to what
so
we
you
were
can
saying.
edit it in seamlessly.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
So we're called to lead, and we're part of all these other initiatives. And now we live in a world where I'm a believer, and I'm happy for people to disagree, that life is as hard as you make it sometimes. So right now we're having problems with the cameras, right? I can either freak out and have an anxiety attack and lose my shit, which has almost happened sometimes, or we can just say, all right, we'll take 2 minutes, we'll
Yeah.
get it working. It's probably going to turn off again. I'll switch the camera or whatever. When it comes to family life, if we want to have big families, which we should, right? Do you want a big family one day? I hope so.
Similar to mine. Yeah.
Yeah. God willing, right? If we want to have big families, then the idea of a family has to be one that is accessible and doable. Instead of us making it seem like this faraway goal that only few can achieve. And getting married, that's hard, man. It's going to be rough. And having children, that's even worse. And your life's going to change. And don't do it, bro. It's like we need to stop looking at family life in that way,
Yeah.
which is the overarching point that I was getting to. I have no issue if, like, you say you got one kid, outside of exceptions of behavioral issues, whatever. If you come home and your wife's just had a shocker of a day, and you say, look, don't worry, I'll bath the kid. You go sit down. There's no problem with that. I never even said only mums should. I never said parents, fathers should be absent. I never said go get milk, don't come home. All I said is that we need to be more reasonable and treat things with the gravity that they deserve. That's all. If one parent is struggling, the other one can pick it up. I have a good friend of mine. He's the one that actually told me this. He said, Francis, in my marriage when we had our kid, we agreed that generally it only takes one of us to take care of our child. So it can't be every time the child needs something, we're both scrambling.
He put it in the prenup, did he?
Sorry? No.
Put it in the agreement. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
we're not allowed to have prenups, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Just making sure. Yeah.
No, but I agree with what you're saying. It's just, like I said, there's probably people in your community, in your faith, that aren't educated on that, or, they're not to say they're brainwashed, but they're maybe caught up with this kind of like feminist culture.
It's very subtle. It's very subtle.
And that's why they take their time to go write out or comment and stuff like that. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with what you said. You just said, I want more time with the boys, pretty much. That's what you said.
Well, not even.
I'm just, joking sense. But like, the only issue people might say is that you don't have a child.
Yeah.
I don't have a child, but I don't think that should make you refrain from commenting on it. I think it's a valid thing. You probably have friends that have kids, as do I. I think it's very common though that once people do have kids, they make less time for people.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That's fine. Like your priorities shift. You're responsible for a whole family now. But I completely understand what you're saying.
Look, John, like my brother has 5 girls. The eldest is 5 years old.
Send my condolences.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
There's a lot of attitude in the house, I'll tell you that. He has 5 girls, 5 years old and under. Okay? 5 years old and under. And life can get very hectic for him, for sure. But one thing I noticed with him and his wife, when something goes wrong, they react with the least amount of emotion needed. Okay, one kid just, got sick and threw up on the rug, right? You can either freak out and start scrambling, but no, what they do is he'll say, all right, I'll take the rug out and clean it. She'll say, okay, I'll take her in and bath her. And the other kids will sit down, just chuck on a show for him so they're distracted for 20 minutes. And they'll be like, oh, Francis, give us a moment. And they come back. Like, things are as hard as you make it. And not saying that things are easy. I'm saying that things are as hard as we make them. Now, when someone says, but Francis, you don't have children, I say, do you think slavery is bad? And when they say, yes, it is bad, I say, do you have slaves?
Yeah.
Do you think abortion is evil? Yeah, it is evil. Oh, but I'm not a woman? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. We should be doing everything we can to encourage people to have families. And part of doing that is not making it seem like this impossible task that only the elect can do, only those destined by God can do.
Yeah.
It's your vocation. You're given the graces and you trust. Now, when I put out that video, a few people got upset. I got called by a few clergy, priests, who said, look, I'm getting a lot of complaints. Like, what are you doing here? I got a call from a guy. I spoke to a guy. He has 4 kids. 4 kids? 3 or 4 kids. One of his kids has a very rare genetic disease. And so she requires extensive care.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I agree with the video. And then another guy, through someone else who has also 4 kids and one kid who's also got a pretty severe disability because of a brain tumor he had. So he needs help just to go to the toilet. And he's like early teens age, right? This guy was also like, yeah, I agree with the video. And so there are people who are in far more difficult situations than I might ever be in, right? Who face grave trials in their life, who understood what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The dads understood. I'm not saying neglect your families. I'm saying that you need to create a system in your home where being a parent isn't traumatic.
Yeah.
And it's up to a man to create that culture. It's up to a man. Now, I'm sorry. Now, I'm not saying all women fit this bill, all right? And I'm not going to preface by saying they're going to get upset. John said I'm not allowed to do that, all right?
Yeah.
But if you got a kid and you spend your day, you chuck on your activewear, jump in your black Range Rover, you go get acai with your friends, pick up your kid from daycare, then come home. And when your husband comes home after a 10-hour day, you got him scrambling to bath your kid. I think that's a problem. I think it's traditional.
Yeah. I think, and like people have spoken about this before, like, men and women are distinctly different biologically.
Yeah.
So.
Now, mind you,
I think it's fair to acknowledge the differences.
Yeah.
A mother's more nurturing. A mother's more, takes the role of looking after the home. And, like you just said, you might see a problem with, the bloke coming home scrambling. I don't know. I agree with you. I think it's fair. I saw no issue with the video. I just think you just probably pissed off the Catholic Karens.
Yeah.
There's Catholic Karens. There would be.
Look, the photo of the guy on the leash, I can understand how that was a bit inflammatory.
The way, So you're saying the way you edited it may have caused it.
I'll give him that.
So do you plan on doing that with most topics? Is it going to be like, okay, I'm going to talk about marriage. That's a big one. Modesty. You've done modesty. That's a big one. You're going to do that with most topics. I'm sure you do it when you do your talks.
Yeah.
One's a big one that I actually struggle to understand with how common it is like usury, mortgages. The Muslims deal with it in a certain way where you can only go to Muslim banks.
I've recently been looking more into that
Muslim
actually.
Banks.
Yeah.
I don't know how Christians really deal with it because it's like interests everywhere.
It is interesting.
And almost you can't function in society. You can't buy a house without getting a loan.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the teaching on that? You got to do a video on that.
I probably should. But what do you mean? Am I going to do this with all topics?
Well,
You mean
it's
like the shorts that I do?
Those shorts, yeah. I mean, they probably it comes up naturally in conversation, but it's like when you're talking about topics like that, you're going to piss off people. It's just naturally how it is, even non-Christian people. So it's like, just be prepared. You're gonna cop those.
Yeah.
You're gonna get letters. You're gonna get
Look,
DMs.
if I can read to you, John, a quote from Saint Augustine, and this is what I think is happening, because it was his feast day last week.
Yeah, big fan of Augustine.
He's a beast. He's a beast. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah.
So what Saint Augustine says: people hate the truth for the sake of whatever it is they love more than the truth. They love truth when it shines warmly on them and hate it when it rebukes them. Right? What I've found is if I make a video and I address some LGBT thing, all the Catholics are cheering.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, Francis, you tell them. And if I address atheism or the secular world, yeah, you tell them. But then you take that same light and you shine it on Catholics in their own home. And you essentially question, what are you doing in your own home? And everyone loses their mind. It's just relax. When no one's perfect, I'm not perfect. My job, I see my job is to be faithful to the truth, not faithful to my audience. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Now, some people said, you know what, Francis, I'm done with your show and this and that. That's fine. You don't even have to let me know next time. It's fine. Just
unfollow.
Stop. I promise you I'll sleep just fine at night. But I'm faithful for the truth. And even if it leads me to criticize Catholics themselves, we have to do away with the subtle feminism that's entered our community.
Yeah. I don't even think you're intentionally going at Catholics, though. You're just...
No, I wasn't.
You're just saying a view.
Yeah.
That is inherently Catholic.
And not just that. I was on Against the Grain podcast, which you've been on.
Yeah,
great guy, Anthony.
Yeah,
Anthony just can't stop laughing at everything. He's hilarious, right? But we're just having a chat. And one person messaged me and she ended up commenting. She said, I was really put off by your video at first. And I wrote a comment. And then I said, you know what? Before I post it, I'm going to go watch the podcast.
Watch the full thing.
She watched the full thing. And then she commented like, I get where you were coming from. I understood what you meant. And I appreciated that. Someone actually stopping, don't react, just stop. And then I had some people say, I just said to them, watch the full thing and let me know if you still disagree. You think I'm going to watch the full thing? You think I'm not, all right, relax, it's fine. It's not my job to comfort you, okay?
You know what would be funny? If you know how AI is massive right now.
Yeah.
Let's AI some of the quotes from the saints.
Yeah.
Your Augustines or even Aquinas.
Yeah.
And I reckon they'd be getting some comments and some letters getting sent in, no? Some of the quotes about like issues that probably still plague today, role of women, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't think people would be too favorable on the quotes of the saints.
No, they wouldn't.
That's pretty telling, that.
Yeah. And that's why I do the talks on marriage and I quote St. John Chrysostom a lot. The whole wives submit to your husband things, the iconic thing from scripture. Now, people try and find 1,000 ways to explain what that means. So what are you explaining? It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Wives, submit to your husbands. Oh, what it means is that you work together as a team. No. You don't work together as a team. You do, but you don't. You don't in the sense, no, he is the head of the house. Let's just use the dreaded O word.
Obedience.
Obey your husband in all things apart from sin. People, I have to obey him. Yeah. Or don't marry him. That's fine. Find a man you can trust enough to obey and and follow, or don't marry him.
Yeah.
So we're not going to mince words anymore. But Saint John Chrysostom is just as harsh on men, by the way. He says, "Now you have heard of how much obedience is necessary. Let me tell you how much love is necessary. Even if your wife mocks you and ridicules you and disrespects you, respond with the affection that Christ had for His church." That's what guy does that.
Yeah.
So he's just as harsh on both. But the problem we're dealing with now, the feminist era, post-feminist era, it's been a feminist era for a long time now, is people don't even want to hear that anymore. Catholics want to reject that verse entirely. You can't reject it. You can't reject it. It's there.
I know you talk about it. Like, what do you think the ways to fix it are?
The first step.
Like I'm talking like a feminization of shit.
Look, we're not going to fix it in one generation. The way
It's
we're
got
going
to
to
be
fix
your
it,
kids.
it's going to be your kids and mine.
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
we have to. The long-term solution. This is what I believe. The long-term solution. The long-term solution is going to come from a legitimate, authentic, true devotion to Mary, because it is through Mary that we will unlock what it means truly to be both man and woman, authentically masculine and feminine, through Saint Joseph and our Blessed Mother. That's long-term what we need to do. This is why we pray the rosary. This is why I wear my scapular and I have a devotion to Mary, right? It is the Holy Family is the example that we're called to follow. You've probably met thousands and thousands of people, and still you're sitting here single, saying I haven't found someone yet. And God willing, when you find the right one, it'll be that person that's ready to embrace the Holy Family's example for what it means to be mum, dad, and child. Christ himself submitted to the authority of Saint Joseph as a child. That's God. Our Blessed Mother, the most perfect human being ever made. Saint Thomas Aquinas says, God could not have made Mary any better. As a human, there was nothing more he could have done to make her better. Saint Bonaventure says he could have made a greater earth and a greater heaven, but not a greater Mary. That's how perfect she is. Yet, who got the dream in Matthew to name Jesus Emmanuel? It was Joseph. Who got the dream to flee to Egypt? It was Joseph. Who got the dream to come back? It was Joseph. And Mary followed every single time. If there was any woman in history, John, that could have said to her husband, listen, I know more than you. Who was it? It was Mary. But she didn't. So what we have to do is, through our devotion to our Blessed Mother and the Holy Family, we need to, over generations, instill these values in our kids. That's what we need to do. How many kids now, boys and girls, have zero sense of responsibility? There are 24, 25-year-olds who are terrified of the idea of marriage.
Yeah.
Why are you terrified? Really, what parents should be doing, take this advice from someone with no kids, right? What parents should be doing is give your kid as much responsibility as they can handle at any point in time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but a 25-year-old girl who can't boil an egg, that's not good enough.
Fair enough. Yeah, I need a 3-course meal.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. No, I get what you're saying.
No. But the reason why I say it's not good enough is because we should teach these things. A guy who can't change a tire, that's not good enough.
But you'll find a lot of people to be like, well, it was a different time back then. People got married younger back then.
Yeah.
Do you think like in like 10 years or so, it'll go back to, hey, you should be getting married at like 22, 23?
Look, what I would say, John, I don't set an age, right? I don't care if you're 20. I don't care if you're 30, right? I'm turning 30 this year. I'm not married
And that's
yet.
not me making like excuses for it.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that point.
Yeah.
Like it's like,
Yeah. No. So fair enough.
Yeah.
Devil's advocate. What I would say is it's not about the age, right? But if marriage is your vocation, would you not do everything you can to prepare your child as early as possible? That's it. And they might get married at 18. They may get married at 31.
yeah.
I'm turning 30. I'm still not married. That's okay. It's fine. There's no set timeline. But at least prepare yourself for your vocation. People go to uni for 3 to 5 years to prepare themselves for a job, but they won't spend 6 months preparing themselves for their vocation. Oh, but I don't know how to cook. That's fine. Go on YouTube. Type in Gordon Ramsay frying an egg.
Nigella.
And Nigella. Start there. It's not that difficult, And it's the same for guys. There are so many things guys have no idea about. You should probably know how to change a tire if you need to. You intend to drive, don't you?
Yeah.
Or is she going to drive you around?
Or just pay someone.
Just pay someone.
No. I 100% agree with what you're saying. It's I don't have a victim mentality, but I just think it's like it is a sign of the times. Like, it's everything, like comparison, vanity, how everything is right now. That's probably the cause of it. But I hope it corrects.
But everyone's already reverting. There's already been an increase in traditionalism.
So much. Yeah, I've seen it everywhere.
Look at the engagement of Taylor Swift. Like the traditional way is not going anywhere. A guy proposes to a girl and gives her a nice ring and gets on one knee and blah, blah, blah. Deep down, they all love it. I don't care how feminist they are. Deep down, they all love it. That's my view anyway.
It's true.
So I think there is that deep-rooted desire for both men and women to live in their role. You're right. There is a difference. Why will you have to pretend there's no difference? There is a difference. Deep down, they want to, as much as they deny it. Have you seen that video of, is it Gavin McInnes? Have you heard of Gavin McInnes?
Yeah, I know Gavin.
And
Find him funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And he's telling that woman on live television
Yeah.
she's miserable and she'd be happier at home with a kid. And she's literally, she's like, I'm literally shaking. Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
It's a hilarious video,
Fox
right?
News clip.
Yeah. And she's like, how will you, don't let him speak like that in front of your viewers. And he's laughing, like the host is laughing as well. And he just keeps telling her, yeah, you'd be happier at home. And this is my choice. He's like, no, you'd be happier at home. And like, I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of truth
you're
to that.
just you how you said it is like you're kind of put on that, even unknowingly, subconsciously. Sometimes you're going on that path.
Yeah.
Even Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
as feminist as you are, you still want to get proposed to.
Yeah.
Even though she makes $1 billion and is the probably primary breadwinner of that household, if it is a real household. Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. You know what would be nice if Taylor Swift changed her last name when she got married.
Taylor Kelsey.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Not happening.
I think she should. It'd be lovely.
Yeah, it'd be traditional, but yeah.
Would you accept your future wife not wanting to change her last name?
You know, coming here, I knew you were going to ask that question.
That one specifically?
100%. Yeah. No. I can't respect a man that is fat, and I can't respect a man that
define fat, so I know if I should be self-conscious.
Yeah, you could lose a few kilos, for instance. Okay, no.
You're actually right. Yeah.
No, I can't. It's like you don't look after yourself. Like you're
I'm working on it, John. I promise.
You're put on this earth for a certain amount of time. Prolong your life, lead a family. You know what I mean? Look after yourself. It's the least you can do.
Yeah.
And then I can't respect a man that takes his wife's last name or lets the wife not take his last name. Is that they're two? I can probably respect every other man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think it's not a masculine thing. It's a spit in the face to the husband. Traditionally, all these years, it's worked for people, and now all of a sudden, you don't want to change your name.
It's also funny.
I think it's a spit in the face to the husband.
Yeah, it's also funny. No, I agree with you 100%. It would be a non-negotiable for me. In fact, even the suggestion of it is enough for me.
It's enough to go, let's call it a day.
Yeah. Why just a conversation? Like, this better be some skit.
I wanted to do a skit on that, actually, just because there was an ABC interview of them just asking, people, mainly I would say left-leaning people, like, would you change your name for your wife? Yeah, why not? It's just, if that makes her happy, yeah, go for it. And just imagine just a traditional, even a Bankstown Leb, just being asked the question, would you change your name for your wife? It's an automatic no. No one's even, that's not even being brought up.
Yeah.
You're not marrying the girl if she even suggests it. Like you said, it's a stupid question.
Well, look, if a man is willing to change his last name for his wife, I'm sure it would make her and her boyfriend very happy.
Exactly. Yeah.
It'd make them very happy.
And their arrangement happy. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think it's silly to me, but that's just it's a feminist thing, and people say it's not really a big deal, but yeah, it's no,
it is to me.
Subconsciously, I think it is. It's like you're not leading your household. It emasculates you.
And I think it's
imagine
rough.
the shame of with your mates, and even you have to tell your dad. Imagine having to tell your dad, she's gonna keep her last name. We're gonna write that on the certificate. It's like my dad would probably bash me, even though he would struggle. I just felt what are you doing, son?
Yeah. And imagine you, your wife, and your children all having different last names. Then the kids hyphenate.
Not a good example for the kids, eh?
No, that's horrible.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. It's horrible. It's just a complete non-negotiable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even hyphenate. I don't even believe that on your Facebook you should put your old last name in brackets, bro. None of that.
I appreciate when the girls, it's like on the wedding day,
they
immediate
change their Instagram.
change.
Yeah.
It's an immediate change to the last name. I commend you for that. You've
100%.
done well.
Yeah.
Good on you. The husband will be happy.
Yeah. Within 24 hours, they've changed their Instagram handle. That's what we need.
Play on.
Yeah.
You can't be on the honeymoon with the same handle.
That's haram.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. So you're not a hyphenator.
No, I've got a hyphen in my first name. It will not happen on the last name.
Yeah. That's a disunity that we don't need.
Yeah.
No, it's good to see that you hold these values and yet still you.
Come on, you've never spoken to someone that you know closely that has said, I'm gonna maybe.
No, I don't think so.
Never.
No,
I've
no.
never met someone that.
No.
It's honestly most people that you either see online. It's your chat fields. It's people that really don't have any, like I would say, like a moral compass.
Yeah. Look, if I can offer, you know what? Well, I'm not going to preface what I'm going to say anymore. I'm going to do it the Jon-Bernard way.
Say whatever you want.
Just say it. The problem has become that I believe, personal opinion, many men think that if they don't appease their woman, they won't find another one. It's my only chance. Oh, this woman loves me. Like I got to do what I got to do to keep her.
In a certain time window, that's right though.
Yeah.
You know, maybe after like 40.
Maybe.
Maybe your dating prospects at 40 is not the same when you're 25.
Potentially.
So
yeah. You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't care if I'm 50. I would never compromise on my values. That's just
I
me.
agree. Yeah, same.
But there's an element of, hey, I don't want to lose her. So what do I need to do? A lot of men are afraid to just say, hey, look, my value system's saying this isn't happening. You either come along for the ride or we part ways.
Yeah.
Because there's a fear. There's a fear of losing, fear of not finding someone else. And then I believe, again, personal opinion, that many married men are afraid of upsetting their wife because they're afraid that they will lose access to intimacy with their wife.
Mm-hmm. That's a big thing, yeah.
I think that's a massive thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a massive thing. I think now we have many women who weaponize sex against their husband.
Yeah.
And
I can't speak on it firsthand because I've never experienced it as a husband, but that was a massive thing online. That Lila Rose chick, she's a Catholic influencer, getting really into the weeds of intimacy in marriage, or withholding and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm across the Catholic content sphere.
Yeah.
I'm aware of the stuff.
Yeah, I'm keen to talk about what she said because I have a bit of a bone to pick.
Well,
with
she got rinsed. She got rinsed online. She was kind of embarrassed herself a little bit because then she doubled down on it as well. It's like, I think Catholic guys, traditional guys like yourself, don't appreciate criticism from women on how men should act. And also, why would they want to be in a household where they're threatened by like the access of sex? Like,
100%. Look, it's not so much I don't want to be told by a woman how I should act. It's more so
a woman I'm not married to.
Yeah, I get you.
I don't want to.
But more than that, this is what I'd say, right? Sex in the context of a marriage is a free expression of love, right? Between husband and wife. There's a unitive aspect and a procreative aspect. You remain open to life, and it's a union of two, one flesh, blah, 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 okay? Now, what women can do, not all women do this, but I think many women do. What do I know though, right? I'm just a single idiot or unmarried idiot, I should say. But what women do is when things aren't going their way, all of a sudden, I'm too tired. All of a sudden, I've had a long day. All of a sudden this, all of a sudden that. And it's not explicit, but it's a subtle manipulation that can occur.
You're talking about this from like secondhand. We've only seen...
Of course, yeah. It's not first-hand experience.
I know, yeah, but I'm saying like that's the main criticism online from either guys or...
Yeah, and I've heard enough of it from people who speak to me privately, right? And so men's biggest weakness in marriage, especially like Catholic men, is this pride. I'm the head of the house. They double down on stupid decisions. There's no humility, and pride is a big problem.
Yeah.
Women's biggest weakness in marriage is the tendency to be manipulative. And I've said that in talks. I don't care. That's the truth, right? And when sex starts to become weaponized, hey, you're only going to get some when you're doing the things that I really want you to do. That's actually a grave mortal sin. St. Paul is very clear. Now, so Lila Rose makes this post, right? Men don't need sex.
Yeah.
And then she goes on to say how there are so many good, solid, masculine men who became priests. And the priesthood is proof that men don't need sex.
And then they're like frothing over some priest.
Yeah.
In the video, which was a bit off-putting.
It was a bit off-putting, right? But the problem with her post is a couple of things. The first is celibacy is a calling. You're called to the priesthood. It's not this thing that any man can just go and do. If you're not called to it by God, it's not for you. St. Paul very clearly says, if you can't control your passions, go get married. He literally says, look, if it's something that's hard for you to manage, go get married so that you don't do anything sinful, right? meaning that some of us need to get married for the sake of the regulation of our passions, right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Not all of us are called to the priesthood. Her saying men don't need sex like they need to breathe and eat is no different from me saying women don't need to talk. Women don't need to talk. No, what do you mean they don't need to? No, they don't need to. They just need to eat and breathe. And so imagine men telling their wife, hey, you know how, you've been overwhelmed the last few days and you just want to talk? Yeah, don't talk.
Yeah.
That'd be unacceptable. Because no, she does need to talk. A woman does need to lean emotionally on her husband. There are things that are needed, not necessarily for our heart to keep beating, but for the health of our soul and body. That includes sex for both husband and wife. Why should we be shamed into feeling that way? That's what it was. That was my problem with it. Why are we being made to feel ashamed in the context of marriage for desiring intimacy with our partner? Now, what she then goes on to say, but there are times where you won't be able to and you'll need to control yourself. She's just given birth and this and that. And the problem with that is don't take an exception and make it the rule. Yeah. Everyone's obsessed with exceptions
There's always exceptions for everything.
Yeah.
Whatever topic.
But then why do we talk about exceptions so much? I hate it when people bring up exceptions.
Same thing with divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's forbidden, but
yeah.
But what about this? But we're not talking about that.
Yeah, yeah.
We're talking about
that's right.
99% of the time. And it's with everything. Like,
it's like me saying to you, if you said to me, Francis, I think I'd like my wife to make dinner. Well, what if she was in a car accident? She's in a coma. It's like, obviously, you stupid idiot. I would make dinner. I would sort dinner. I would order dinner. Like, what are you talking about? That has nothing to do with the general principle that you would like your wife to make dinner. Should you be the breadwinner? Oh, but what if you broke your leg and you couldn't go to work and okay, that's fine. Like she can work too. It's okay. But this obsession with exceptions, it distracts us from the key principles. The church teaches us principles, and then people take an exception. It's like when someone says, so do you think abortion is wrong in the case of rape?
And incest and whatever. It's like
I say to them, I don't think it's okay in the case of rape, but if I did agree with you that it is okay, would you agree that it's wrong in all other circumstances? They'll almost always say no. Okay, then don't bring up the exception. Because it's not the rule.
Do you find yourself in debates like this often, or
about
anything?
Yeah,
abortion.
Look, abortion not as like when I was back at uni in Catstock, because we do ministry on campus. Now the stuff about marriage, I used to get into these debates more often. Now I reserve what I want to say to my talks, to my content. When I'm with people, I made a conscious decision. I don't discuss my content. Because what will happen is I'll be in a group of say 5, 6, 7, 8 people. And someone will say, Francis, I saw your video on this. I'm not sure I agree fully. And then if I respond, now I'm defending my content.
Yeah.
And then people jump in, but what about this? And it's like, look, I'm not here to defend my content. But so that sort of escalated a few times, even among friendship groups. So I've made a conscious decision to one-on-one I'll discuss, but I don't discuss it in groups because even in the Catholic world, not everyone sees eye to eye. And as a result of that, people think I can be a bit pompous, a bit arrogant, like he's got all these views and just doesn't care. But we sort of sign up to that with our content. You have to have a thick skin and you have to be faithful to the truth and just put it out,
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating for some people to see me criticize the modern marriage when I'm not married.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I'm going to criticize it. St. John Chrysostom was in the 400s, 400s, I think 400s.
Yeah.
And he was a bishop. And he has the best writing I've ever seen on marriage. For 1,600 years, he still is the best. And he was a bishop. It's like telling our priests there, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that. We can talk about whatever we want. You don't have to listen. But I do find myself in
debates.
I had before. Now it's a lot less because I don't engage.
Like around the family, like we'd have like maybe a couple discussions here and there of like who's right, who's wrong.
Well, in my family, we all agree with each other. Thankfully,
family all agree. Yeah. Even I'm saying like extended family, people that don't read into stuff as much and whatever. Now I just get to a point where it's like I'll do my own reading, I'll do my own thing.
Yeah. If someone says, "Look, Francis, I disagreed with your video on this," I'd say that's okay, no problem.
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm not. Saint Bernadette has a wonderful quote: "I'm not here to convince. I'm here to inform. I'm here to inform you. I'm not here to convince you."
oh, Francis, convince us of this. I don't have to convince you. I've relayed the information, and it's up to you. And some people, I've been told I'm too harsh on men. I've been told I'm too harsh on women. I'll just pick one. Like, maybe I just hate everyone equally. Maybe that's not so bad, But it's just how it is. Like, these things need to be spoken about, John. But like, the Catholics have the same divorce rate as everyone else. How's that possible?
Shouldn't be. Yeah.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be the case.
By the letter of the law, you're saying.
Yeah.
By the letter of the doctrine.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be. Yeah.
It shouldn't be. We shouldn't be separating the way we are. It's because people are going into marriages with bad expectations and a bad understanding of what their responsibilities are. One of the most controversial things.
What's the ruling with divorce, though? It's forbidden. It can't happen in a Catholic marriage.
There is no such thing as divorce in the Catholic Church after a marriage has been consummated.
Yeah. Thick and thin, death do us part.
There's no such thing as a divorce. A divorce means you have a valid marriage bond. Now it's been severed.
Yeah.
You can't do that after it's been consummated. If it hasn't been consummated, you actually can by writing to Rome, and they can dissolve the marriage.
What's a non-consummated marriage?
The consummation is when they have sex for the first time.
Right.
Yeah. So a marriage isn't consummated till they have sex.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is, not the problem, I mean, the thing is, most marriages are consummated pretty quickly.
Probably night of.
Yeah. Like, you can't be like, oh, we got married 6 months ago. Hey, don't worry, we didn't consummate. It's like, hey, you're going to have to sort of prove that, and it's a bit hard to prove, like if they didn't consummate pretty soon after, I'd be a bit concerned as well, you know what I mean? Yeah, maybe that's another type of guy you wouldn't respect.
Add it to the list.
So once it's been consummated, it can't be dissolved at all until someone dies, till death do us part, right? Now, what the church does have is a teaching on annulments. An annulment is a declaration that the marriage was never valid in the first place.
Due to whatever reason before the marriage, adultery,
At the
whatever.
point of marriage. At the point of marriage. So I'll give you an example, right? I get married on, the 1st of December, and essentially the girl's dad has told her, if you don't marry him, you're dead to me. And she's freaking out. I can't do that. I can't upset my dad. So she shows up and she marries me. And she only did it because she was coerced. She never actually wanted to get married. A marriage has to be completely free.
Yeah.
Right? That would be grounds for an annulment. And it's a very thorough process to prove that and establish it. And there's a tribunal with clergy, psychologists, all these people who help determine that, right? But that would be grounds for an annulment. Another grounds for an annulment is, say, Jon-Bernard goes to Miami, meets a beautiful Maronite girl for some reason in Miami, right?
There's some there.
There's some Maronites there, right? And she said, you get to know her and you say, look, I want to get married. I want to marry you. And back home, I have this beautiful mansion on the beach and you have nothing,
I've bared false witness.
Yeah, well, if she marries you on the basis that is true, which would be a problem in and of itself. But if she was look, I'm marrying you because of your mansion on the beach.
Yeah.
And then she comes and finds out you don't, that's grounds for an annulment. It's grounds.
Lying.
And look, I'm sure some canon lawyer will correct me. I'm happy to be wrong. But when if she marries you and she didn't fully understand.
You got to get an annulment solicitor to bring this to the tribunal? Or how does this all work?
Well, you actually assign what's called an advocate, which is like a canon lawyer who'll represent you.
Yeah.
And they'll make your case on your behalf. But you're also interviewed. You have witnesses interviewed.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't understand the roles and responsibilities within a marriage. So if you get married, you're like, oh, I thought getting married just means like I'm allowed to have sex with her now. I didn't know I have to like look after her and pay for her stuff. You'd be a bit of a dud, but you get what I mean? I'm simplifying it. But
moral of the story, guys,
but it's not a
divorce. It sounds like a headache. Just pick the right person.
Pick the right person, 100%. 100%. But look,
to it.
But to be clear, it's not a divorce.
It's
saying it was never a valid marriage in the first place.
Okay.
The Orthodox have divorce. We do not. Everyone else has divorce. The Catholic Church does not have the concept of divorce for a consummated marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but you're right. Just pick the right person. Things will be fine. How hard could it be?
Big, everyone says I think most people that preach about marriage online will say that's probably the most important thing, picking the right person.
Look,
or making sure it's the biggest life step. You know what I mean?
It either makes your life,
and with the divorce rates right now, you got to be on your toes. You got to be careful.
Look, John, it either makes your life peace and happy for the rest of it. There'll be struggle, but you're at peace, or your life will be hell. How many, like, you've probably seen it with people around you. I've seen it with people around me. You've got people who are married and their life looks like it's bliss despite the struggle. A beautiful families, a wholesome lifestyle. And then people who live in hell.
But I'll say, like, you know, with the rates, I don't know anyone immediate to me, friends that have got married, cousins that have got married, that have got divorced. Like, maybe it's an older thing, generation before us.
Look, I'm pretty sure the rate of divorce decreases the more practicing they are as Catholics as well.
Yeah, okay.
So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a few as well, but it doesn't feel like it's half. But then again, a lot of people call themselves Catholic and aren't even practicing. So you got to factor that in.
Yeah.
But it's because there's just become so much fear around what we're allowed to say about marriage. I have no problem telling a girl that I believe as a wife, she needs to serve her husband and her children. People have a meltdown. What do you mean serve? She's not your... No, hold on. Her job is to serve me and our children. Guess what my job is to do? Serve her and our children. We're afraid to use these words because of what they mean. But what they mean is not a bad thing. Are you not going to live in service to your wife and your children?
Yeah.
Of course you will. But God forbid you tell a girl that. So look, I'll give you some, maybe one day I'll send you some initial questions you can say to a girl. You'll filter her out in about 3 minutes. It won't.
I got the filter process pretty
actually,
well.
you did
the
it.
Marinite job interview.
You did it in Lebanon, right? When you're going around asking women if they can
bit
cook.
Of a joke, yeah.
That was hilarious.
Can I get a picture of your mother?
Yeah,
just
yeah,
most
yeah.
recent. Just want
Yeah.
to see how you age. Yeah, that was just the known thing of like, you
Yeah.
go to Lebanon to find a wife.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was a bit of fun. That was like 2 years ago now. Yeah. Great, beautiful place.
Yeah, it is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
When was the last time you went?
I'm probably going to go again this year. I've been last 2 years. I'll probably go again in October. Yeah, miss all the Aussies
But
there.
if you didn't go in July, did you even go to
That's
Lebanon
how I
at
know.
all?
Yeah, exactly right. I've missed
October's
out.
good. It's good for hunting.
I've missed
September,
out. Yeah.
October.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you from in Lebanon?
Shadi.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sharona, of course.
Yeah.
We're right across from you,
Oh, yeah?
Berosha.
So I've been there a couple of times. I love it there. You know, family looks after us when we're over there, so it's nice.
Yeah. That's why you walk around with no shame and no fear. You're Sharona, bro.
Yeah,
it's
they're pretty
like
crazy.
In your
We've got
blood.
like a reputation of being nutcases over there.
Yeah.
So
I didn't say nutcases to be
I
fair.
love it.
know,
No, I
yeah.
love it. Like it's true.
Yeah.
Like I feel like from the normal perspective, even of like some friends in Australia, like these guys are a bit crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it.
You know what? Sometimes you need people to think you're a bit crazy.
Yeah,
It keeps them on the the Pshironi are the defenders of the weather anyway.
Yeah.
So, and your Tata, your very famous Tata,
Yep.
is she a Pshirona?
No, Zarta.
Zert.
Yeah, she's my dad's mum. So
Yeah, right.
yeah.
So your dad's parents was a Pshirona married Zertewi.
Yeah. Just by a letter. Just send her a letter. Come over to Australia.
Are you being
Simple times,
serious?
swear to God, not even joking.
He sent her a letter.
I'm pretty
said,
sure-
come get married to me in Australia.
The way I've been told, that was
Wow.
I think he had maybe seen her once before, and then once he was in Australia, he was like, "Hey, you want a better life?" She's like, "Yeah, let's go."
And the Psharra and Zgarta, at that time, there was a bit of tension between the
Yeah,
two as well.
I think
So
yeah.
that's
what I've been told.
awesome. She's
so
become
Romeo
a real
and Juliet story.
Yeah,
right
she's
there.
become a real icon.
She's funny, man. She's always had a personality. She's always made us laugh. So,
Yeah.
and it probably came at a point where I was like, I just wanted to get some females in skits and make some good ethnic content. So
Yeah.
she's a laugh, man. But yeah, I got to find a way to pay her well, so she can enjoy the fruits of her popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing she doesn't really care much for
She
that.
doesn't really care about the payment, but she's starting to get hit up now by some company. Hey, can we do some makeup here and there on your grandmother? Can we do a skit over here at this place? It's
Interesting.
Like, Data, do you want to do this? Do you want to, like, it's up to her. She's
That's
always
so
down for
funny,
a laugh.
man. That's
She doesn't
cute.
really understand. She loves when people come up to her and take photos with her. She gets excited. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's fun. And we have fun doing it. We're creating memories with our grandmother that
Yeah.
we thought we'd like never do. So
Yeah.
I don't know, it's fun. We hang out a lot actually. We're getting coffees all the time.
Yeah.
So
I
she's
can't
funny.
imagine like sitting. I mean, all my grandparents passed away, but like sitting with my tata, planning content and a skit. And
She's young, mate. She's young. She's
good
like
on her.
young at heart. I think she got married when she was like 18. Popped
Yeah.
first kid out at 20.
wow.
So like still she's only 70, like 70 something maybe. I don't know, but it's questions on the birth certificate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course there is. I
we
mean, if
we
she was
celebrate her birthday on the 1st of April because she didn't know what her birthday was. She's just like, yeah, that's the date we go with. Not even.
literally on April Fools.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. And she's almost quite literally a mail order bride. Like, hey, just come over,
Yeah.
send a letter.
She loved her husband. She was
No,
like,
of course,
she's like,
of course.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
No, and I'm saying like,
Yeah.
you know, he's not with us anymore, but it was yeah,
Has your grandfather passed away? Yeah.
a while ago. But like,
yeah.
she's the best. She's a laugh.
So much easier back then. Just make it happen.
Honestly,
commit.
I might have to send a few letters out if it's
Send a few letters. Yeah. Send
I
a few
might go-
letters.
because she turned out all right.
Yeah. Now it's different. You got to send like a video on a DM or something, but those probably
Yeah.
aren't the people you want to go for.
To be honest, I'm retiring from the DMs. Like I think pre-socials, I would like DM someone if you'd met him, but like sending a cold DM, not the way to go.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
You mean generally or like to
Generally,
a girl?
I'm saying to a female. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'd operate like you. Operate as if it's going to be seen by everyone.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like I've...
Because
yeah.
Instagram's kind of like a Tinder now.
It is.
Instagram's
yeah.
kind of like a dating app. So I don't know. I think the preference is just meet someone in person.
Ideally.
Yeah.
Question is where? Where's Jon-Bernard Kairouz
Not a
going to
club.
find?
Yeah, you
Not
can't be
definitely
finding
not
him
a
at
club.
Yeah, I don't know. Bookstore, coffee shop.
A
No, I'm
bookstore.
just-
A bookstore. You know what? We'll find a way. I might hold some events or talks
Got to do it.
that's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
attract the right people for you, and then you can just,
Yeah. I don't know. Look, look, selfishly, I don't think I'm in any hurry. I think the whole purpose of life is starting a family.
yeah,
And it's good that you talk about topics like this because
Yeah.
I think it's probably good for younger people to kind of long for something like that and figure out goals and what they want to do.
yeah.
But yeah, like, inshallah soon.
Yeah. Inshallah. Well, of the 50 people that are going to watch this, maybe one of them will.
Hey, get the
Yeah.
clips going. People watch the clips. People watch the clips.
Yeah, I know.
That's
We'll
a
pump
Gary
them out.
V. He says, don't worry about the full lengths. Just
Yeah.
pump the clips out.
Yeah. The short form content. I know it's
Yeah.
important. It's just you just got to keep doing it. It's volume, man. You do a very good job at that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a bit tiring, but what do you do?
Consistency and volume, mate.
Yeah.
You'll get rewarded.
Yeah, and your brother Nick, is he younger or older than you?
He's younger. So he's 26. Yeah. And he's like, I probably think, he's the main reason why we're like, very private. Like we don't, like I said, don't divulge too much. It's just more keep it comedy, keep it business.
Yeah.
He's very, disciplined, very faithful guy. So I'm inspired by Nick all the time. You know what I mean? I spend the most time with him. I'm actually, as the older brother, trying to be like Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I'm going to be messaging him anyway to have him on. I was always hoping to have both of you on. It's hard to line up because you guys travel a lot. You do great things, but I'm keen to speak to him as well.
Next one,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
Nick. We'll get Nick on.
Yeah,
We'll go
100%.
in depth into Catholic. Let's bring up everything.
Everything?
Anything.
Everything and anything. No, it's good that nothing's off limits for you. It's good that nothing's off limits. You were charged with encouraging people to breach
Yeah, the COVID stuff.
but you weren't convicted, right?
No, I got a criminal charge, but so I was like guilty, but they didn't give me a criminal offense. So
okay.
no criminal record. I can travel and whatever. But like, that's why there was this protest that happened the other day. And there was an anti-immigration protest, and it was like, I've been there, done that to an extent. Like we went out in lockdown, and we was like, this is, it's bullshit.
The
Like,
People's
why?
Premier, I remember.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, did it achieve anything? Did it just make our lives a bit harder?
Yeah.
I don't know. And, I think there's room for people to protest, especially when, there's taxation like this and people are upset with their conditions. But it's like, I don't actually know if it achieves anything. I don't know if we just go about our lives. It's like when someone dies, you know what I mean? We have to get on with our life the next week. You almost forget them straight away. And it's the same with like government. That, for example, that was just a headache. It's dragged over 2 years and like nothing ever eventuated, just cost you money.
Yeah.
And everyone forgets about COVID anyway. It's all done. Everyone forgets about lockdown. So it was like,
I'd say it's still worth it. I'll tell you why, because
I enjoyed it personally. Personally, I enjoyed it. I had fun doing it.
No, you're talking about the impact. Like, does it actually have an
I'm
impact?
saying, does protesting actually have an impact?
Yeah, look, what I would say, John, is that the impact might not be immediate or direct. It's not like you ended the lockdowns, right? But I think it's very important for people to see at the time, hey, there are people actually willing to stand up and do something. And people in hindsight, like, you'll be remembered on the right side of history. And that's important because history is what usually informs the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the winners write that, mate.
I understand.
So
I understand, but now in this day, but we're in the age of alternate media,
that's true.
and it's hard to write certain things. It's hard to bury certain things.
Yeah.
You know, in the world of social media, you got famous in a very short time span. We'll call it overnight fame in a sense. They can't stop that. You know, and so I think it's also important for your legacy in a sense that, hey, like I stood up and did something. I stood on what I believed was right. And that's a legacy for your children, your children's children.
Yeah, but even I'm saying that's almost like selfishly or like for yourself. But I'm saying, like, does it affect any change?
Look, how many people during COVID were whinging about, hey, why isn't he wearing a mask? And now are like, yeah, that was ridiculous. A lot of people have realized how ridiculous things were. They don't do anything about it.
But would they do it again?
That's the question, right? But if it wasn't for a lot of the alternate media, I don't think a lot of people would have realized.
Yeah.
That, hey, I think these people are all right. People that we were told were crazy and this and that, they were right, you know? So, no, I think it's good. I think you got to keep doing it, man. The stuff you're doing is important. And
well, even if you didn't enjoy it, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah,
I enjoy doing it. It's fun.
Have you seen that famous pro bowler?
The bowling guy that goes nuts when he celebrates?
Well, he's bald as well. And he's like, he has all these cold, hard quotes, and he's a bowler, right?
Yeah.
And he says, whether you love me or hate me, you watched. And then he turns around. Yeah. That's pretty much you, the content that you do.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, like, between my brothers and I, we don't take ourselves too seriously, you know.
What value do you think you bring to the world with what you do?
Humor, like joy. Like, if it is joy, like, I just want to make people laugh. I just want to... You know, I do eventually want to try and do a stage show. I do want to do a TV show. Like, you know, I just got goals that I want to tick off. And whether it's humor, whether it's people kind of escape for a little bit of time from their, you know, stress of life. Yeah. Maybe it's that. But I don't know. It's evolving too. I don't know where I'll end up, what I'll end up doing. I enjoy the sports aspect. I enjoy just making funny videos. It's like and with social media now, you can talk about whatever you want. It's not like it's interest media. It's not like you have to stay in your own niche lane.
Yeah.
You're a Catholic. You make Catholic content. You like combat sports. You can make combat sports content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It gets served into different algorithms. It's like, do what you enjoy and just try and make that your living, because no one really fully enjoys their work. You know what I mean?
There's a grind associated.
There's a grind associated with everything. So it's like, just try and enjoy it as much as you can.
Yeah, and so you want to do a TV show eventually?
I think so.
A live show.
Yeah, like I want to try stand up. I've done a bit of stand up here and there. I want to try it.
But takes a lot of balls to do stand up.
When I have the time, like, go out, test material, do a full hour show. I want to, have a television show maybe down the line. I think it will eventually come if I stay consistent.
You know what I think you should do. Not that my opinion matters to anyone, but
it does.
I would love to watch the news, but it's your
fake news.
No, it's real news, but you present it the way you present.
That's like
it's
the old Saturday Night Live.
Show.
So Norm Macdonald used to do that.
Yeah.
SNL called The Weekend Update. And I've done it like variations of that in short form. But yeah, I don't know. You can make anything popular on social media, but like, to break into television, to get into the Netflixes, to get onto even a sports broadcast, I don't know, you got to be okayed by certain people. You got to be an ex-player. You got to get the tick of approval. And,
or you just need to become so big they can't say no.
That's exactly right. Yeah. That's what
Which is probably what you're doing.
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
You got to become so big you can't be cancelled, so big they can't control your money.
Which is tough.
It's tough. It takes time.
But, hopefully we can
Only
get there.
a few have done it. Like Kanye West.
Yeah.
He's like the extreme end of that. He just...
Billionaire.
Yeah. Lost billions, still has billions.
Yeah. My favorite artist, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Love,
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's your favorite of his work? Like the older stuff?
The soul samples, like in the early, like graduation, college dropout. And then it was funny, like, do you remember around, like, would it have even just been pre-COVID, but like I was probably starting to take your faith a little bit more seriously. It kind of like, it was like a synchronicity of like him dropping Jesus is King.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like, of course. Like,
Yeah.
this is awesome. And I love Jesus is King. And then Donda was really good as well. You know, I didn't mind Vultures one. And I think he still drops bangers. And I listen to most things. I want to tick off going to one of his concerts soon. I was going to go to Korea, but I had to stay home for an event. But he had a show in Korea. I wanted to go.
Yeah, I saw that. Was phenomenal.
So I'll tick it off the list. And I get interview him down the line. I think.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Because he's banned from Australia. We don't let him in the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's not allowed in.
Why? Because of his like Jewish
his rhetoric
comments
online and tweets, and which is crazy. But
Candace Owens hasn't been able to come here as well.
Yeah.
Her show's been postponed twice now.
Yeah. She's recently Catholic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know I like her stuff. I think she goes a bit too much into the like scandal of like
The French president's
Blake
wife,
Lively,
yeah.
French. I don't care about that.
Yeah,
No one cares about that.
yeah.
You know, that's not my cup of tea. I could
Yeah.
tune out. People do watch it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know. I prefer more of the serious topics.
Man,
from
it's a shame
Candace.
our government like bans people for stuff like that. It's a bit
She's
soft.
been pretty spot on other topics.
Yeah.
Like vaccines and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But yeah, she's engaging. She's probably on the right side of history, but I don't know. I enjoy it. I don't mind her stuff. Yeah.
Why do they ban though? It's like
Tony Burke asked the travel minister or some bullshit. Like you gotta toe the line to get in the country. Of speech now. Yeah. Which is crazy. Imagine a comedian making the wrong jokes on Twitter. Is he not allowed in the country? Like Snoop Dogg got in trouble the other day. They're gonna axe him from the AFL Grand Final.
That's right.
Apparently, it's almost confirmed he's going to get.
What was his
axed.
joke again?
He didn't even joke. He's just had homophobic lyrics in his stuff, and then he was on a podcast like this, and he was critical of the Buzz Lightyear movie.
Yeah.
And now the AFL, because they're very righteous, they're gonna can him, and they're gonna get an Australian artist to take his place, which is crazy. It's like we almost have to watch what we say on podcasts because it can get used against you, you know, for your roles, which is wrong, but that's the game.
Yeah. It is, and that's why whatever we say, you just have to accept whatever consequence comes from it.
It's God's will, mate.
Yeah, you either live in the truth or die in a lie. Man.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Remember Kevin Hart with what was he going to host? The Oscars, was it?
Yeah, and then he had those jokes about.
They pulled up tweets from like 10 years ago, and he got. Yeah, it doesn't end. It doesn't end.
Yeah.
You're screwed for sure if things go that way. The stuff.
It'll probably eventually happen. but
Whatever. We'll be fine.
Hopefully, I'll be fine by then.
Well, you know what? Like maybe public life will change, your private life will remain untouched. You know,
Yeah, I guess
you're good
we'll
with
see.
your family. Everything stays the same.
Yeah.
We'll sort ourselves out. Look, man, I know you got a lot on. You're always doing something. Where are you traveling to next?
Back to the next UFC is in Vegas. And then, back on the road in October to the UK, and we bouncing around.
Man, I'm so jealous, man. You can just go to UFC shows and it's crazy.
Yeah, quite lucky, man. Like I said, we're very grateful.
Yeah.
And, the numbers are doing well, so I just want to continue to do that.
For sure.
You know,
yeah.
we're enjoying covering the sport, so hopefully we can keep doing it.
Yeah, awesome. No, I appreciate you coming on. I'll be reaching out to Nick, God willing, very soon.
Send him a message.
Yeah. I'm going to send him a message.
We'll get on the next one.
I'd love to. And it might be good for us to do some content together sometime. Yeah.
I don't know if I can match you with the talks.
No.
Right?
You
You know,
don't have
I
to
know my
match
knowledge
me.
is there, but maybe jump in like a little Catholic skit. Because I've done a couple of those before.
Yeah.
And like you, I got a bit of backlash.
Yeah.
I did like a Monopoly one a while ago of like if the disciples were playing Monopoly. And it was funny. I thought it was funny. It did
Yeah.
like 1 million views, but then you got like the Catholics that didn't really understand the kind of biblical references of the jokes.
Yeah.
And so, why are you making fun of it? I was like, we're not making fun. I'm just
Everyone needs to settle down.
just
I
quoted
think.
some scripture here.
Everyone needs to settle down.
Yeah.
No, we'll see what we can do. It could be
Yeah.
fun. It could be fun. No, thanks so much for coming on.
No worries, man.
And God willing, we'll have you on in the not too distant future.
Thank
Maybe
you.
we'll see you at a UFC in the US sometime.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, awesome. You're a
Thank you,
legend, bro.
brother.
Thank you so much.